Alrighty, guys, here we go. Welcome to tonight's live stream. My name is Danny B. DannyBTalks here. Music is wrapping up, so that means it's time once again here for this week's NASCAR Live podcast here. As always, I am joined here today with my two special guests, the Iceberg and DoubleEdud. Welcome, guys. We are live once again.
Yeah, that we are. How's it going, everybody?
I'm doing great. I don't know if you're asking me.
I'm just asking everybody.
How's everyone in the chat doing? Because that's what's most important. Who gives a crap how we're doing?
Yes, because this is more of a, let me get my microphone adjusted here. I'm real professional, as you can tell. This is a little bit more of a special episode, as y'all are well aware. We did say that at one point we will be dropping a link to this Google Hangout in the chat. Not now, though. One of you guys is probably going to have to fix your audio. I'm like hearing it coming back in my headphones here. But anyways, at one point we are going to be dropping the link to this Hangout down into the chat, and we will be able to let some of y'all join us. We're going to give it a while before we get into that, though, because we do just want to have some time where the three of us can go over our little thoughts and opinions on what we got going on this weekend, though.
Yeah, and I see the chat sort of stopping and going, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, chat, we'll get to you in a little bit here and there, but like we said, we're going to try to bring y'all in here actually in video form with us this time.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. So what are we starting off with today, guys? What's the hot button issue these days?
Well, one big issue I saw, and I saw that you, Eric, made quite a few. You made 2 videos on this. NASCAR Race Hub had some very controversial picks, and their top drivers of all time, it looked like.
Oh yeah, no, that's been a lot of fun to follow along with the last couple of days. I don't know how many of y'all saw it. NASCAR Race Hub this week, Monday and Tuesday, went through their top 50 drivers of all time. They had a team of like 20-some people vote on it. So yeah, so I don't know if there's a bird just landed right outside my window right here. It's like right on my window. So sorry, that's distracting. It's like 3 feet away from me. There's just a bird. Anyway.
The dangs of the live stream.
It flew away. Okay, never mind. I was going to turn the camera around and get some wild nature in here. But yeah, there were some interesting picks. Most interesting I thought was Dale Earnhardt. They put him at number 5 behind Jeff Gordon, David Pearson, Richard Petty, and Jimmy Johnson, all them. Which I thought was a little low, but that was just I thought he should at least be 3rd or 4th. You could debate from there.
I have no clue why they would have done that.
I don't know. It was interesting. He has less wins than Jeff Gordon. He was behind Jeff Gordon, so I can understand. Jeff Gordon has the advantage there. Jeff Gordon raced maybe in a slightly more competitive era, but they kind of overlapped for a large part. But Dale Earnhardt with 7 championships as opposed to Jeff has 4. Don't get me wrong. 4 championships is great. And everyone likes to make the argument that, if not for the chase, he would have won 7. I just say, well, the chase happened. He should have adapted to it. You can't make that argument too much. That being said, he deserves a top 5 spot, but I don't know why they have him over Dale Earnhardt. That just seems wild to me. But yeah, I don't know.
See, I didn't see this yet, so that's a little bit of a shock to me. I mean, I'd assume they wouldn't put him first just because, it seems like nowadays there's a bit of a backlash for a lot of NASCAR fans of like how good Dale Earnhardt was. But I mean, 5th, I don't know. That's way too. See, I might be biased. I mean, you can see my beautiful statue right here, but I would put him, first, if not first, definitely like in 2nd or 3rd. I mean, 7 championships in an era that there wasn't all the gimmicks and stuff like the chase and like people don't, people say how now is a more competitive era. I mean, he had a pretty competitive era too, and he was sort of in that middle, kind of like where we're at, where we have been the last few years, where there's sort of a change of era so like he had to race guys like older guys like Pearson, Petty, Allison, and them, but also had to get guys like Elliott, Wallace, Tim Richmond, Harry Gant, and then on top of them have the newcomers like Jeff Gordon, Labonte, Mark Martin, all of them, and he held his own pretty well. So I mean 7 championships. So that's just I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead. I'm looking at I typed up the whole list of the top 50. I was gonna go over some of the notable ones in a second if y'all wanted, but
I was just gonna say it's definitely leave it up to NASCAR Race Hub to get some controversy going out there.
it's what media is for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
they have. I thought it was notable. They had Joey Logano was at 50, and drivers like Ryan Newman was not on this list. Who are some of the others notables that were not on this list? Oh gosh. But anyway, Newman didn't make it. Logano was 50. Biffle was 49. So that's kind of how they started. They had Jeff Burton at 47. They had Alan Kulwicki was at 41. Harry Gant 40. They had Dale Earnhardt Jr. was 37. Martin Truex was 36. 35 and 34 were Edwards and Hamlin. Or sorry, Hamlin then Edwards. Hamlin was 35. Edwards was 34. They had Bobby Labonte at 33. I'm trying to think. They had at 28. They had Kurt Busch versus 29. Brad Keselowski. They had Dale Jarrett at 24. Kenseth was 21. Mark Martin at 19. Harvick at 18. Bill Elliott at 17. Stop me if you want to talk about one of these. I'm just kind of reading through the ones I thought were kind of notable.
I'll go through them and then we can talk about them.
They had Rusty Wallace at 14, Kyle Busch at 12. They had Lee Petty at 10, Tony Stewart at 9, Bobby Allison 8, Cale Yarborough 7, Darrell Waltrip was 6. And then the top 5, like we said, was Dale Earnhardt at 5, Jeff Gordon at 4, David Pearson 3, Jimmy 2, and Petty 1. So, yeah, Casey Kane wasn't on the list. They're reminding me in the chat there. Yeah, Casey Kane didn't make it. Newman didn't make it. I'm a little surprised Logano made it over Newman, but that's just me. I guess he's younger. He has more potential, I suppose.
See, I can never put Petty first just because when he was racing, like they were so technologically ahead. It's kind of like how the 18 car was for the Xfinity series for the longest time, where it's like, like Clint Boyer said, a monkey could get in that car and win. It's not even trying. So, and back then it was like, I mean, the half the rule book they had through the time Petty was racing was because of Petty's car and how off it was, but there was no rule for it. And when he didn't really have as much competition either, and when he did with David Pearson, because Pearson rarely ever, if ever, did a full schedule. Mm-hmm. Pearson usually beat him out. So I don't know if it wasn't Earnhardt on the top of the list, I would have Pearson, but I can't put Petty on there. He's in the top 5 because I mean you still have to be extremely talented to win 7 championships, even with an amazing car. But I'd put Pearson and Earnhardt ahead of him, and probably Gordon too.
What about Johnson?
I think they're right around the same. It's hard. It's so hard to judge because NASCAR throughout its history just keeps changing the system.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't think about it. I have this book, right, of all the years, like from, I think, before NASCAR started to 2011. And before the big, like, classic point system that was, I think, put in place in 75, they changed the points, like, almost every year. Like, for NASCAR not to change the point system for so long was actually abnormal. Like, for a long time, it was like people like Petty could finish last and get the most points in the race because of how much money they got or a sponsorship thing. It was crazy how different it was. And there were years where there was like points and they would give them out in decimals and stuff, and just it was really confusing. So I don't know. It's hard to compare in NASCAR because they just keep changing everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted by the chat just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Boyer, if you're just gonna keep trolling the whole night, we will end up muting you. So just keep that in mind. I don't mind you wanting to comment about the stream and all, but just saying stuff like "I like potatoes," that ain't helping none.
Kyle Newton Kane fan points out. I mean, he does have Kane fan in his name, but he says Newman wasn't good enough. He has the same amount of wins as Casey Kane, but over more years. That's a fair point. I don't know. I need to look it up and make sure it's actually correct, but to make sure they're not lying to me. But that does sound right. So, but
I think it's
I guess
around the same.
Yeah, neither of them made it into the top 50 though, which I just thought was a little surprising to see Logano in there, Biffle in there. I don't know. I thought that would be more debatable.
Where was Kulwicki at? I don't know if you decided or not.
He was at 41.
41st, really?
A lot of people thought that was low. I know he didn't race for that long, unfortunately, but
that ain't his fault.
No, I know, but I think that might honestly be the only thing they can hold against him because he didn't see enough. He didn't see enough of it, I guess. That because I know a lot of people had him higher. They did this list 20 years ago, and I can't remember where he was in the list then, but he was a lot higher.
Ralph Earnhardt was on the list 20 years ago when they did that because there was 2 Earnhardts on it. But I would put him up, or honestly, around where Kurt Busch is because he had such lesser equipment over time. Yeah, and he still managed to. I mean, and like the run he made, like people talk about how great Tony Stewart's run was in the chase, and it was incredible. But like Alan Kulwicki with about 8 or 9 races left was 400 points behind the leaders. And going into the last race, he was one of 6 people who had a chance to win the championship. And a lot of it was luck, but at the same time, I mean, he was balls to the wall, incredible those last 8 or 9 races that year.
Rusty Wallace brought up a good comment in the chat here. He said the amount of Newman poles, though. I mean, keep in mind they called him Rocket Man for a reason.
Newman,
yeah, but I mean, that's the same argument. I mean, you can make that argument for why Danica Patrick is good at Daytona. I mean, any of these drivers can have a good fast lap, but
didn't Newman win was it 2002 or he won 8 or 2003? He won 8 races.
Yeah,
so he did have some big years in there, but I mean, he wasn't consistent, I guess.
I know there's a lot of people who argue that Newman should have the championship because of how many wins he had, but at the same time, he had I think he had 9 DNFs that year.
Yeah. Well, no, you can't take Matt's championship away. I won't let you.
One of them, Pepperino, says David Pearson is God. Well, to a lot of the moonshiners back in the day, he was.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
The entire Pearson family is a good racing family.
Yeah.
Oh, Clint Boyer says Danica is his mom.
Oh, interesting. That's a new one.
Let's see. 105 wins and 3 championships without running a single full season. Yeah, and back then the full season was a lot longer. I mean, there were seasons with 75 races.
I mean, you look. I had it written here. I took a lot of notes for my videos. That's what I'm referring to right now. I took a lot of notes. So David Pearson had 105 wins in 574 races. That's almost a 20% winning percentage in a pretty large number of races right there, even though it wasn't, all in a row all the time. But still, yeah, you can't, he's obviously top 5. You could definitely make a case for number 1. I think some people on the show actually tried to. I can't remember who it was. 1 or 2 people did say they thought Pearson could have been 1 or 2 on the list.
Someone asked here, was Davey Allison on the list?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too.
I think he was. Let me check. Yeah, 32. Right behind Benny Parsons and Fred Lorenzen, but ahead of Bobby Labonte and Carl Edwards.
See, if it wasn't for the fact that same argument with Kulwicki, if he didn't pass away so early, I would have put him a lot higher.
Probably, yeah, because he had 19 wins and 191 starts. So that is like a 20% winning percentage right there.
See, one of the drivers that you I've noticed, because I've only seen the first video. I didn't have time today to see the second one, but one of them you talked about that you didn't know too much was Curtis Turner.
Yeah, somebody in the chat, they tried to educate me a little bit there, or on my chat.
He's kind of like, how do I put it? You know how Tim Richmond is sort of seen as one of the bad boy kind of deal, or the part, kind of like the partier. That the original Tim Richmond was Curtis Turner, and he was NASCAR's first superstar basically before Lee Petty and a lot of them were really big. But yeah, was he around? I think he was around where Junior and Truex were, right?
Curtis Turner was at 42, right behind Kulwicki.
See, I'm a huge Dale Jr. fan. I would put Curtis Turner way ahead of Junior. And that, I mean, I see all this Dale Jr. stuff, but it's he is so underrated for the time he was there. Because he wasn't there for very long. I don't think he won a championship, but he was pretty incredible from all accounts, and statistically he was really good.
You two are both Junior fans, I know. How do you guys feel about his placement on the list at 37? Do you think there's about right, or where do you think he should be?
Honestly, I think that's fair. Honestly, I mean, he did get 26 wins in his career, and I mean he had way too many bad years, like for a while. I think he had good years. It was like started off really strong in his career. He racked up a lot of wins in his first few seasons, but he just had so many seasons the later 2008 to early 2012 stretch where it was just nothing. I mean, stretches like that where nothing happens, and then towards the end of his career, that really brings you down a lot. So honestly, I think 37 was about right for him.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think honestly he would have been could have been ranked higher had he just retired after the concussion stuff in 2016. I really think that in the long run, 2017, when it comes to him just as a driver, not as like a person in general, just as a driver, I think that's really going to tarnish his legacy, I guess you could say. Because I think his legacy, like I've stated before in other mediums, is going to be really good. But yeah, I think that, and then that late 2008 through about early 2012, that was a pretty horrible stretch, both for being a fan and just objectively. But I mean, if you look at it from like 2000 to about 2000 to mid 2008, like Junior was an elite driver, and then he sort of had that renaissance of his career, like mid 2012 through about the start of 2016. Because I mean, even before he went out with concussion, while he wasn't doing very well, he had like I think 5 or 6 second place finishes. So it's not like he was tapering off really. So I mean, I could see that. I just, like you said, those bad years, those kept him from probably being a top 30 driver.
Yeah. Just want to address the chat here on 2 things. IDK player says, Danny's about to hit 1K subs soon. Thank you. It's getting close. I'm at 810. I was at 811, so I guess somebody's saying this live stream at first. It's like, I hate this. Bye. So that happened.
I can refresh the page. It still says 811 for me. So in my eyes, you're great.
Oh, good. But another thing, Clint Boyer, I did put him in timeout for a few seconds. He said, sorry about being stranger than usual. I have just had way too many energy drinks lately. I am truly sorry to all 3 of you, and I'm a huge fan. Keep up the good work.
We appreciate it.
That's fine and all. Let's just keep the spam comments down in the chat. Let's try and keep any chat questions like more related to the topics at hand.
Hashtag Danny will rise from Nick Jensen. I like that one. All right, so anything else about the list we got?
Those are the biggest things I took away from it. I was a little surprised they had Brad Keselowski behind Kurt Busch.
Yeah,
I feel like they both have a championship, and Keselowski's already almost caught Kurt in wins. I think one of the arguments was that Kurt wasn't in great equipment for a couple of years there. That was kind of his own fault. So I can't really, I'm not going to give him too big of a pass there. I think Keselowski's going to be bad. I think by the end of their careers, Keselowski will be ahead of Kurt Busch, probably, no doubt. So I don't know.
We've had a chat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Where was Kyle Busch by chance? I just want to.
He was up at 12, which was ahead of Herb Thomas, Rusty Wallace, and Junior Johnson.
I can't put him ahead of Rusty Wallace or Junior Johnson just yet. I feel like. Because a lot of these guys are sort of like the newcomers in the media, right? Like sort of like a Brad Keselowski voting for different people, or like Chad Canales, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're sort of biased by who they've had to compete against,
Personally, with Kyle Busch, I honestly would keep him right where his car number is, 18, honestly, because, he got the 2015 championship, but that was mostly because of a loophole that they let him come back into the playoffs that season. In a lot of years, I feel like he performed to where he should have been the champion, but when it comes to playoffs, he kind of let it slip away. Like 2008, that was his year. Him and Carl Edwards was really good that year, but Johnson still got it somehow.
I think he deserves. I would take points away from him. I agree. I'd put him probably around 15. I think by the end of his career, by the end of Kyle's career, he'll be top 10. I actually do. I think he'll win probably 2 more championships and be up there. But I think at this point, he's just been. I agree. That one championship, I thought he earned it, at least when he came back. He ran really well. He was the best driver in the races he competed in that year. But there's still a technicality. There's an asterisk by that he's never going to get rid of. And then you're right. He's had points in the playoffs, or he's had points in his career where he's a streaky driver. He's capable of being the most talented guy on track at any given point, but he's also capable of making mistakes that you just don't see very many other drivers make. a lot of people give him credit for, he's nearing 200 wins across all 3 series, and people act like that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, I'll give him credit. 90, what is he, like 91, 92, something like that Xfinity wins. That's impressive, but not that. It's impressive a little. It's not that impressive, I'll say. So I don't know. You look at, I think he has 40-something Cup wins, one championship. Yeah, I think he's maybe 15th right now. I thought he was a little high too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, it's kind of the argument I had for why Petty wasn't my top one, is just that he's always going to have that asterisk, like, and that's about the Xfinity part, but he's always going to have that asterisk a little bit next to, well, a lot of it next to that championship, just because, I mean, it's like we were saying, it's a loophole. It's a fluke thing that, it's actually something that I was thinking about the year before. I'm like, watch somebody was like out, like comes out of nowhere and wins and doesn't deserve it, kind of thing. And sure enough, he came out and won like that. But then with the whole 200 wins thing, I mean, it's like I was saying earlier, it's like if you have the best car, you don't even have to be the best driver to go out and win. So if he's the best driver in the field with the best car, it's kind of just like playing a video game at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think we've already spent 23 minutes on this list here, so let's move on to the race coming up this weekend, because I don't think there was any other big news. Was there other? Well, they released the 2019 NASCAR schedule, but basically nothing changed. That's just short and simple, which I think even last week we kind of was talking about that a little bit, and we both said it wouldn't change until like 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, isn't that when they say there's like a bunch of deals that are expiring with the tracks, and that's when, because I read something not that long that said that NASCAR is actually looking at making some possibly serious changes in a couple spots for 2021. So I think it had something to do with a contract with a lot of the tracks. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know the details, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I think ISM or whatever it's called, and Speedway Motor, whatever, the big ones, they all signed basically just a flat deal in start 2016, locking them into basically the same dates, except if they opted to change them and like were mutually changing them. So that's through 2019. I'll be honest, I think, if NASCAR were smart, I think that they'd work something out with the TV guys and sort of downsize the schedule so they're not having to compete with like NFL as much, I guess. But that's a topic for a different time. But yeah, I think there's going to be, whether they downsize, whether they have to change it or not, there's going to be something big with the 2020 schedule. So I think 2019 is sort of just, I think for them, it's sort of just one of those lame duck kind of years with their schedule. They're just like, screw it, keep it the same, don't change it,
And I like this year's schedule more than last year's. So at least I'll say, I think it's probably an improvement upon what we've had in the past. So at least there's that.
So this is probably going to be controversial for some people, but one way or another, they cannot keep racing Indianapolis the way it is. Like the way it is right now, like the normal track, it's just awful for stock cars.
I say bring back the short track in Indianapolis.
Yeah, or use the road course. Honestly, I think it's a failed experiment. They just need to leave. Like it worked for a while, but now, I mean, it's so tarnished by that 2008 race and the way the attendance has just completely kamikazed into the ground and blown up. There's 20,000 people there. I mean,
if every race could be like the Xfinity Series race last year, then maybe it would have hope. But that's just the thing. We can't guarantee that that's always going to be happening, and that's just something that we can't control, really.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then a blind squirrel can find a nut, so we can't just use that one instance, I guess.
I will say, since they've kept it, I'm glad that they did move it to the last race of the regular season. It kind of actually gives me a reason to at least sort of watch it and kind of care about the result, because otherwise that's honestly one of the more skippable races of the year.
Yeah, I think last year after Junior crashed out, I fell asleep during it because we were about to go out and do something. I was in Chicago at the time, and I fell asleep watching it. And I woke up and just started seeing wrecks. Like, it was right. I woke up right as Truex and Kyle Busch were crashing, and I was like, "Oh man, did I miss a bunch of stuff?" It's like, no, I didn't miss anything. I just woke up for the Demolition Derby. 2016, I fell asleep for it. 2015, I fell asleep like face down in a swimming pool watching that. Honest to God, like I was sitting on one of those floaty things watching it, and I fell asleep and woke up by falling into the pool. 2014, I think I fell asleep. I don't think I've watched a full race at Indy without falling asleep or dozing off since probably 2011.
LT Smash said, "You can't cut Indy. It's the prestige." And yes, it does have that prestige to yourself. And I mean, the thing of Paul Menard is the fact that he's only won one race, but it was a big race like that, so that almost kind of helps him a little bit, give him a little bit of backing to his career. But at the same time, I think it's just getting to the point where Indy to me means exactly what it should. Indy cars, not necessarily NASCAR.
Well, and you look where that prestige was built. It was built in open wheel. It was built with Indy racing, and then NASCAR sort of piggybacked it when it was on its way up. I mean, what big historic moment that Indianapolis would put in for like honestly a highlight reel. What historic moment in NASCAR would Indianapolis put in that shows, wow, this is something that you want to watch? This is something you want to sit down for 3.5 hours and watch. That's how I see it.
And you're right. I think maybe Paul Menard winning, but that wasn't really an exciting finish. It was just, it was kind of cool to see a first-time winner. But other than that, you're right. The only reason I was staying awake for last year's race was because Kenseth was like in the top 5, and I was really hoping he could win an Indy race before he retired. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah, at that point, I was just wondering, are they just going to say, "Hey, it's too dark, you win"?
Oh, I was hoping for it. I don't remember where he finished. I think he stayed top 5, but I was so close.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just Indy is such a mess, and I think the success of the sport sort of masked how low it was. And then like 2008 was like it was like sort of like cold turkey, showing what Indy had. And then from there on, everyone just sort of was jaded to it. I think having our drivers out kind of, it sort of shows you which races are better than you remember and which ones were worse, even 6 races in.
Thanks, CH Productions, for letting me know.
All right, so maybe we should go ahead and move on to Texas going on this weekend. And I just want to let people know, just because we're 30 minutes in, we are still going to let y'all try to join in here. But like I said, I think it'll only let us bring in a maximum of 10 people all at one time.
Oh, boy.
And hold on a second here. Yeah, so I think it'll only let us bring in a maximum of 10 people at a time. So what we're going to have to do when we start doing that is leave y'all in a 15 to 20 minute clock. That way we can give people some time to come in and hang out with us for a little bit, but also keep it rotating a little bit so some other people can get in. I hope that's fair, but that's just probably the best way to do it.
I'm down for that.
Yep, works for me. And how do you join NASCAR Lover? The link will be put in the chat that you're reading. You click on it, or type it into the address bar, or whatever. It'll take you to Google Hangouts. You need to have, that's one thing we should probably make sure we make clear. The only way you can join or really participate is if you either have a phone that's capable of running Google Hangouts with video and audio, or a laptop that can do it, or a computer with a webcam or a microphone. You gotta make sure you at least have a way to communicate with us. If somebody pops in and they're mute,
and
can't really do anything with that.
Yeah, make sure you got all that, and make sure your internet connection is going to be at least fairly good, because if we get you in here and it looks like you're coming at us from deep in the jungles of Vietnam, we're not going to get to keep you.
Yeah, and then also if you're on a phone, no walking around and making it to the point where you'd get sick watching it kind of thing. I know a lot of people do that when they're on streams, when they're on their phone. Just sort of, just act normal. We're having fun. Just be normal. we have the power to zap you out.
And keep background noise gone. Basically, don't have your TV blaring in the background. Because thing about me, you might be able to tell I'm sitting in my dark living room. Everything's off except for my laptop, and that's it. So.
And I have my fish tank filters off and stuff, and the windows closed because for some reason every time we stream there has to be sirens going off somewhere. And also we can talk about, like, we don't even have to keep everything on NASCAR as long as it's like a steady and relatively appropriate conversation.
Yeah, for me, I'm a wrestling fan aside from NASCAR. WrestleMania is this weekend. If we get some people who want to talk with me about that, let's talk about it later.
Cool. All right.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and just get our Texas discussion out of the way, and that way we can get on to some fun stuff with the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I got all the notes. If everyone's ready,
I am ready.
Let's do this.
All right. So this weekend, April 8th, 2018, is the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. On TV, it'll be on FS1. Radio, it'll be on PRN. It'll be at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 334 laps with 2 stages of 85 laps to start out, and then a long stretch of 164 laps. Jimmy Johnson is the defending champion. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be able to repeat. The weather, high of 71 degrees, no rain, but it's going to be windy between 16 and 20 miles per hour. So that's our little...
And go ahead and answer this question before it gets asked in the chat. No, Eric will probably not be over at Texas, even though he's from Texas.
Unlikely. Although I will say this, about 2 hours ago, one of my girlfriend's friends goes to school up in Fort Worth and apparently got 4 free tickets to the race, and 2 of them are for us if we're able to go. So there is a chance that I will be at the race this weekend. There is a chance because I have a free ticket, but I also have a free Astros ticket. So
you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance, but I can't make any promises. I don't know, but I'd say it's a 30% chance. But anyway, I like knowing that the weather's good though. That maybe makes my decision a little different. We'll see.
Yeah, speaking of weather, we got Bristol coming up the weekend after that. I know it's still early to talk about that, but I'm curious what the weather is looking like for Dan, out of curiosity.
They might have like a 10-day forecast for that.
I'm seeing. I've got a good app here on my phone that should be able to tell me.
I see what you're saying, Rusty. That's sound logic. The problem is if I go to the Texas race, I'll probably have to pay for a hotel, and that's money, you know. So that is a fair observation, though. We'll see.
Wes Graham asked, says they're using the Tire Dragon for the race this weekend. What do you guys think about that?
I've been seeing that. There were some drivers pleading. They're trying to get them to move it all the way up to the wall to try and get as close to Old Texas as possible. I don't think they'll try, but I don't think it'll get there this year. It might be a couple more years till we see that again. Yeah,
I was listening to the Dale Jr. download, and he was saying that he wants Kyle Larson and Ricky Stenhouse to drive it. And I think there's like something they were going over it or whatever that Stenhouse might be able to do that tonight. So hopefully, I hope he does it right near the wall. And because I mean, the groove they're at, they're just going to wear the tires in already. You know, like halfway into the race, it's going to look the same way. So I don't know. NASCAR is run by a bunch of. Let's not go too into detail what I think about the people running. It's not pleasant. Let's just say. Yeah. There's someone out there. What do you think of the leadership of NASCAR? Like from top to bottom, it goes worse to better. Like, you know, so basically worse at the top, and then the guys up top are terrible, but the guys at the bottom that are like directing traffic, they're awesome.
Yeah, I like talking to people who are selling merchandise outside. They're nice.
Yeah. So if there's not too much to talk about, we want to go over picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of tough, but I think two clear options is Harvick and Truex.
It seems obvious.
Yep.
Maybe too obvious.
Well, I'll go first. I'm picking Harvick because I like to go out on a limb. I think this is because this is the 7th race. I think this is the 4th time I've picked Harvick this year. 3rd or 4th time. If
Harvick wins this, then that means the last 4 races of that particular track style. Auto Club doesn't count because that's more of a two mile, more of a roundish shape, whereas Texas has that same shape that Atlanta, Las Vegas, Charlotte, they all have that same shape. So if he wins that, counting when he won Texas back last year, that would be 4 in a row of that track style that he would have won.
Damn.
Yeah. Harvick's the obvious pick, and he's my pick too, I would say. But I think two dark horses that I think you could make, that I expect to have at least top 10, probably top 5 days. I'd go with Ryan Blaney and Eric Jones. Ryan Blaney, he's been good this year. He's run well in the 1.5 miles. I think he finished 5th at Las Vegas. He's coming off, what was it, 3rd or 4th at Martinsville, which is like surprisingly good for him. We didn't really expect that. I think that team has momentum, and the Penske cars are usually good at Texas. I think Blaney's a pretty solid pick. Eric Jones, he hasn't had much success there in the Cup Series yet, but I know his Xfinity stats are like, I think he's won 3 out of the 6 races he's raced at Texas in the Xfinity Series. So I don't know. He definitely knows how to get around there. It's just if he can get the Cup car to do what he does, gets his Xfinity car to do.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be like you guys, and Harvick is my pick too. But like Truex is definitely another one I'm curious about. I think he's got a good chance too. But as far as a third driver, he ran really good over at Atlanta. I can't remember how he's doing at Las Vegas, but I think Brad Keselowski could have a good run here too.
Keselowski's a solid pick. How do you guys? I'll be really curious to see how Jimmy Johnson runs, because Jimmy has won. I looked this up for my show today. I think he's won 6 out of the last 11 or 12 Texas races total. And I mean, you look at that. But a lot of Jimmy fans are hoping this is kind of the week they turn things around. That might be a little optimistic. I don't know.
That's probably what they thought about Martinsville, and he was completely unremarkable there. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, if he's bad at Martinsville or Dover, he's going to be bad everywhere else.
Yeah. I want Jimmy to try to get some top 10s from Texas and Bristol, because those have usually been fairly good tracks for him. If he can do that, then I'll start to have a little bit more confidence in him, just a little bit. Also
in the chat, that was Tag Nation. That was really funny. He said Brian France is the Jake Paul of NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
which one's a Logan Paul?
An equally punchable face.
Yeah, we don't like either. Let's see. Limestone Butter says, problem for Johnson is that he's running those, shitty Camaros. He'll get 10th at best. I mean, it's still brand new. I mean, this happens with a lot of manufacturers when they bring a new model in, but at the same time, the Chevys being this off, especially the Hendrick ones, it is kind of, what do you call it? It's a little eye-opening.
Yeah, but I think last year it took quite a while for all of the brand new Toyota bodies to really start doing good last year too.
Yeah, like last year you had Truex was the only Toyota who seemed like he knew what he was doing right away. This year, although I'll say it's still a little inconsistent, feels like Kyle Larson has probably been the consistently best Chevy that we've seen.
And then I'd say Larson's been the consistent best Chevy, and Elliott's probably been second best.
Yeah, so it could just be like, Truex was good, and then the Gibbs team caught up. This year, Larson's good, and then Hendrick might catch up by the end of the season, but we'll see.
How many Chevys are in the chase right now just off points?
I have no idea. I'll bet you Larson. I'll bet you Bowman's in it because of consistency.
And then maybe McMurray.
I'm going to look that up, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and look that up.
Because I feel like that would be more of a – because, I mean, with Austin Dillon in, I mean, he won Daytona, but as much as I think plate racing takes talent at the same time, it also takes a lot of luck. But, I mean –
Okay. On points, here's what we have here for Chevy people. We have Kyle Larson is 9th right now. Alex Bowman is 14th. Ryan Newman is 16th.
And you have Austin Dillon at 13th there.
While Chase Elliott is actually 18th and Jimmy Johnson 17th. So that's surprising. I really thought that Elliott has done consistently better than Johnson, but I guess not.
He's had a couple of wrecks, I guess.
4 of the 16 spots are Chevys, and one of those is off of a win.
Yeah, I didn't even count him.
And 8 of them are the first 8 are no Chevys.
Here's what we got. We got 2 Toyotas, 1 and 2. Then we've got a string of Fords, 3 through 5. Hamlin Toyota 6. Harvick, Boyer, 7th and 8th. And now it's really surprising that Harvick is now back to 7th. But this new point system at the very beginning is really back and forth a lot. But I'd be curious what it's like in like 10 weeks, though.
Yes, C. Henry says, dump the win and you're in. Honestly, kind of like you were saying in your video, Eric, I like the way it was back in 2004 to 2006, even through 2013. Like, it wasn't too gimmicky, but just to make points and to make those drivers around there, make it matter, make those races of the year matter. Because honestly, now it's like Daytona matters, maybe Martinsville to the hardcore fans, Talladega, the 600, Daytona, maybe Indy for some. It's just really, it's spotty.
There's not much riding on any of these regular season races until we get down to the final like 5, where it's all like, oh, who's like, maybe this year Jimmy will be like 17th in points with like 5 races to go, and we might actually be saying, can Jimmy win and get in? Or like last year it was, will Dale Jr. win and get in? And obviously he never came close, unfortunately.
Speaking of him, and I hate to cut you off, the reason I think the win and you in system has done so good, they started in 2014. Who won the first race in 2014?
Junior.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, as a Junior fan, I will say, had he made the chase last year, I would have been happy, but he did not deserve it at all.
Yeah.
And had he come back after being gone for like 5 weeks in 2016, had he come back and made it, I don't think he would have deserved it. Honestly, like he didn't perform well enough over the entire stretch of the season. The fact that you can suck, basically average a 29th, 28th place finish for 25 weeks, luck into a win at the end, and you're in, and then hypothetically could luck into a championship. It's just, I know it's a lot of hypotheticals, but it's just the system. I know they said they don't want to change it, or it would be like 20 years before they change it again, kind of thing, was what Brian France was saying. But that I don't see this lasting much more than 5 years. Honestly, had Truex not won the championship last year, I don't think we have the same system this year.
Yeah. NASCAR's got really lucky that these 4 years with the knockout round formats, that you could say like Harvick in 14, there's the argument about Kyle Busch. He was the best driver during the playoffs in 15, but you could argue that, that one. 16, Johnson was one of the top 3 or so. And then last year, Truex. They've been lucky that the champion so far has been well deserving. If Newman wins in 2014, if who was in the list last year, if Keselowski wins it in 17, we might be having a different conversation here. It's
Johnson winning in 16. I mean, he wasn't that good that season.
He wasn't that good. How many races did he win? Didn't he still win 3 or 4 races? I think
he won 4 or 5. But at the same time, he was so inconsistent.
Edwards were better, probably, at least in the playoffs, it felt like. But I thought Johnson was at least top 3 or 4. And it wasn't a year like last year where Truex was just clearly way better than everybody and most deserving. It was a year where I felt like everyone was a little bit closer together. There was nobody that was just clearly running away with it.
I think another big. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I think, if last year, if Truex didn't win that, there's gonna be a lot of people mad.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been mad. I was actually, and I'm not a big Toyota guy, but I was rooting for Truex because he was the only one in those 4 that deserved to win it.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought so too. I wish they just go back to let 10, 12 people in, all on points. You can stack them up from wins there. Like, you can give them bonus points and stage points. I think that works. I'm okay with that because it values wins more than other things, but it doesn't make the fact that 2016 you had Chris Buescher and even Tony Stewart in the playoffs at the end of the year was ridiculous. It was dumb. The fact that this year Austin Dillon might make it into the top 60 in points, he might hang in there. But the fact that he's already locked in and doesn't have to worry about it. He went from winning the Daytona 500 to, we just read, he's like 13th or 14th in points just a few weeks later. He's not as good as he was in the Daytona 500. That wasn't really telling of how good he is or how good he's not, because he's not that good. At least that team's not that good. They're not a playoff team. So
look at I root for Bubba Wallace, and he's like, I think 20th or 21st in points last time I checked. He's right outside the chase. He has been atrocious. The 5 weeks since Daytona. That
second place finish at Daytona has carried him, and it's one of those deals that I don't like it. I don't like that exists. It's not good. It doesn't make the sport look legit. It makes it's super gimmicky. I think people say the round by round thing is gimmicky. I personally think the win and you're in is the most gimmicky thing about it. Yeah, the rounds are a little gimmicky, don't get me wrong, but I don't hate those. I could live with those if we just got rid of the regular season win and you're in format. It's my probably my least favorite thing in all of sports. And it's hard for me to say that because NASCAR is probably my favorite sport to watch and follow. And the
Yeah.
fact that it has my least favorite thing in sports in it, it's just so, it makes me so polarizing. I don't know what to think half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I see, that's it. Josie, the one with the Kyle Busch picture, which I find this really funny, says it's very cheesy. I mean, this is a person whose driver won the championship with this system in probably the most fluky way. You know, I mean, just looking at it objectively, I mean, like, granted, when Junior was in it, I was all excited and I wanted him, and I was all mad at when he'd be kicked out at Talladega each year. But at the same time, it's like, you know, coming down to it, you know, you got guys like him or Gordon, like in 2014, who basically were on the top the whole year. Like the whole year leading up to the chase, and even halfway through the chase in 2014, for instance, it was Gordon, Jr., Keselowski, and Logano.
Yeah, I say here.
Keselowski, Gordon, Jr. missed it.
Yeah. I see here LT Smash said, in Europe, we think it's an American gimmick. We don't even have playoffs in football, which, of course, football is what we call soccer. But, yeah, you know, I guess that's the difference between areas that you're from. But I know LT Smash, I was talking to him earlier this week, and I think he said he works for a Formula One team. So obviously, I don't think they do any kind of playoff system or anything.
I think Europe has Americans like the flashy stuff a little bit, and I think Europe they feel they come from a culture that doesn't require that. I think if you had like buzzer beaters in like the equivalent of like a buzzer beater or a last second touchdown or something like that in European sports, because you just don't really see that in very many European sports, I think they would get addicted to it the way Americans have, because I think that's really what's happened is Americans are addicted to the walk-off home run and stuff like that. And so every sport's trying to make more of those. I think Europe, since what do they have? They have soccer. I feel like soccer, I don't hear of that many like last second goals in soccer. The score is usually 0-0 or 1-0, you know.
I mean, this year, go. Sorry.
No, I mean, I'm done. I just saying I think it's just, that's an American thing that we've become used to and expect now.
I mean, I'm a big, and this is the thing that I have a problem with Brian France's Game 7 moments. Like, I'm a big Minnesota Vikings fan, and this year they won on the Minneapolis Miracle, which basically it was the first walk-off touchdown in playoff history in the NFL. Like, just think of how long, like, they just had Super Bowl 52. So 52 years, and they've only had one game that's ended with like a walk-off touchdown. And that's what makes it special. That's why that game will forever be remembered by NFL fans, by Vikings fans, because for once we were on the good end of a miracle. But that's what it's going to – that's a Game 7 moment. Like, it's not technically a Game 7, but that is where everything pretty much organically came together to give you that holy crap moment. And with this system, the biggest complaint is you've manufactured it to be a Game 7 moment. This isn't like the Cubs winning because I'm a Cubs fan too. It's like the Cubs winning in Game 7 in the 10th inning, right? This isn't the Vikings, you know, pulling out a miracle against the Saints or Michael Jordan hitting that last second shot. This is something, you know, that the sanctioning body has warped and made into where this is how it'll end every year. Granted, I don't know if it'll always end with the two guys going for the win, but at the same time, there's a little bit – Game 7 moments aren't meant to happen every year. They're meant to happen every now and then to be that thing that, like, everyone's like, oh, my gosh, like, we have to watch this. Because, like, last year, you know, well, I forgot what year it was. Like, the Broncos got destroyed by the Seahawks. And then the next year, the Seahawks were, like, in it, driving down the field to the last second only to lose right at the end. Like, that's what makes Game 7 moments special, is when there is the games that are completely boring or the games that aren't worth it, because it's that much of you can't miss this. Like, look at the 92 championship. There was no manipulating of the points from the sanctioning body, and you had 6 guys in the championship, 4 with a realistic shot of winning. And then you even look at the 2004 chase. Yeah, they sort of had that cutoff, but at the same time, they organically made it to where there were 5 guys in it mathematically, realistically could win the championship. You know, and that's, I think, that's the biggest thing that NASCAR fans like. Look at the year before that. Kenseth won. He had locked it up the week before the end of the season. So the next year to have this amazing championship race with guys like Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., Mark Martin, all these popular guys, all these people in it. That's what made it special. And I think that's what Brian France that's the point he misses the most. I'm sorry for going off on this rant, but
I think you're right. It's if you try to have a Game 7 moment every year, every week, it loses the effect. It doesn't have the same effect as when you have a great battle every 2 or 3 years. Like, you know, the Edwards versus Stewart in 2011 is another.
That was
incredible.
incredible.
That's just incredible. You're never not going to see that hardly ever. And I don't think the point system had anything to do with it, really. It's just kind of, I don't know. I think you're right.
Well, I think that's been a pretty good conversation so far here, but we've been getting a lot of requests saying when can we open this up to more people to join? So
I'm ready whenever y'all are.
You guys ready?
Yeah, let's let this little experiment begin.
This is either gonna be really good or really bad. Just like I said, try and keep it kind of professional, guys. So with that being said, check the chat. There's the link.
Anyone else getting butterflies in their stomach all of a sudden?
I got a bottle of water.
Oh, I probably should have got some water. All I have is some saline solution. I found it funny. It's like watch no one actually jumps in. Hey,
there's
jumped in.
Well, this guy I was hoping would join. Rusty Walrus is a pretty good guy.
Sweet
All right,
deal.
so Rusty Walrus is in. Smitty, who's the 14?
Oh my God. No. Get away.
All right, as you come in, just everyone introduce themselves.
Well, I'm surprised I got in here.
Our garden's about to die.
All right, so are we just gonna? I think we got 10 now.
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay, some of y'all are gonna have to turn. Some of y'all are gonna have to get rid of the background noise here.
This is,
Some of y'all are gonna have to.
I mean, mine looks good. I don't know.
Oh my God,
This
this is amazing.
is not a good idea.
this is terrible.
Okay.
What is this?
I like it when it's just walrus.
Okay.
What is this?
Oh, this is such cringe.
Oh my goodness.
Craziness. This is how we get viewership.
This is what you call comedy. This is what you call professional comedy.
Okay.
Who's
This is terrible.
This was a bad idea, guys. I'm so sorry.
This was a bad idea from the start. I knew it.
Very bad
I
idea.
knew this was a bad idea.
Okay, some of y'all who have the family in the background are gonna have
Just stop and shut up.
to go.
How about everyone just shuts
Oh
up?
my God.
We got to make
just
Thanksgiving
mute
dinner.
everyone. Mute everyone all of a sudden, and then slowly
I'm
add
dead.
people in.
Oh, are we good? Wait.
Oh my God, I can hear myself.
I'm
I can hear myself think.
working on muting some people.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Just
it ain't permanent.
figure it out.
Am I muted or what is this? I don't know if I am or not.
Well, I can hear you. Oh, who has the microphone in their
I'm gonna mute
throat?
myself if I need to.
Okay.
Let's rename this the shit stream.
Yes.
All right. So we can hear ourselves think all of a sudden.
Okay.
Is it muted?
I have.
This is
Oh my. No, I got
Very
seconds.
chaotic.
Ourselves think.
Weird.
Oh my God. This
Okay.
is amazing.
Stop and introduce ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. Somehow they're unmuting themselves somehow, but some of y'all who have too much background noise, y'all have to go.
You can kick them. That's fine.
I can't tell who it is though.
You had him muted for a second.
Rusty Walrus, your reaction is perfect, man. Oh my God. This is gonna end up on one of those compilation videos of what not to do on YouTube. I made my mark.
Okay. I'm sorry, but
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna have to get rid of a few of y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Not me. I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly clean.
I was here to begin with.
What?
Crying.
Okay, what is your name? JC. We will leave you. You don't seem to have too much background noise, so we're gonna leave you.
Oh, I'm crying.
Everyone just needs to go into a closet and please stay there. And if you do not get in a closet, we will know it's you.
You ever seen the movie Matilda? Go into the Oh, this is the most unprofessional I've been.
It's crazy.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're never doing this again. I'm sorry. This was a bad idea.
We're gonna have to talk to people in advance.
I think we're doing okay.
Do like a
here.
giveaway.
Man, my
Let's start
camera's
Giveaway
lagging
like
too.
a spot on here.
Let's start going with a question here. I don't know if everyone's like the bottom of the screen, how it has everyone's face. I don't know if it's in the same order for everyone, but I would say like, hey, let's go from left to right and answer a question. But I don't know if it's the same for everybody. But so anyway, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Let's start asking questions. Who is everyone's favorite driver? Mine's Matt Kenseth. Who wants to go next?
Mine is this guy right here, Chris Buescher.
Sweet
Oh
deal.
my
Hey,
goodness.
I know you're a real fan.
We got a Chris Buescher fan. We got a rare breed up in here.
Chris Buescher is a good guy.
Oh Jesus!
I
What?
respect him.
Okay, what is going on there?
Oh my god.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, all right. You're a real fan. I respect that.
Okay.
We got a
Oh
rare.
my god.
This is crazy.
All
I'm a
right,
fan.
Okay.
Don't look at me.
Oh my goodness.
Whose idea was this to begin with?
mine.
I
would
Oh
say-
my god. I'm
I
showing a lot. I didn't know this. Jesus.
Are
Okay.
you having
Okay.
any regrets now?
Yes, very much so.
I think okay.
Yeah,
really
really.
quick. Next
Okay.
time, I think the plan is going to be that we
Danny, I'm just in
we
your
will talk
comments
to
over
people
here.
in advance. We will do this
Yeah,
in
just-
advance and have special guests with this.
Yeah, just use
Okay.
DMs.
God.
This is gonna be mean, but I'm gonna kick a few people just because we can't. This is too many people. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Just do like a weekly giveaway.
I'm getting dropped.
Give away like a spot on here. That's what I would say.
I will say the views. Oh, they went down for a second there, but the views were going up for a minute. Some people like this chaos.
Okay.
Yeah, because people like cringe.
Okay, we have six people now, and I did remove the comment from the chat.
Oh, no, thank goodness. Oh.
I mean, you could probably set a cap to join this group, can you? Or
Unless they copied and pasted that, they shouldn't be able to open it.
Well, at least we had a little bit of comedy. So
That was
just a
that was
little bit.
All right, so we're gonna go with Rusty, JC, and the Racers TV. Welcome to this live stream. This was much better in our heads than it really turned out to be. But we still have 50 viewers though, so that's okay.
AB68, I'm sorry. I will remember you.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I wasn't really even paying attention to who I was getting rid of. I was just going off of who didn't seem like they had a lot of background noise.
Moment of silence.
We'll see you guys another
Rest in
week.
peace.
All right, so what do we got? I see we got a Chase Elliott fan. So that should make Danny pretty happy.
Yep.
What is this main right here? Johnson, Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, another Mark Martin, another Tony Stewart,
Means you have a good taste of drivers.
Hey,
and Chevy.
can you send me a hat?
Sure.
AB16,
by the way-
I was the one who looked like a 12-year-old even though I'm 15. I'm sorry, man.
I just want to
By
know
the
who
way,
the guy had like another person like climbing on their shoulders at one point.
I'm sorry. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay. That's gotta
Oh, man.
I'm gonna lose so many subscribers after this.
I'm going to
You'll
guess.
keep me.
I'm
you'll
gonna
keep
make
me
sure to
as a
stay.
subscriber.
I'll ring
You'll
the
keep-
bell too.
I take it Rusty Walrus is a Rusty Wallace fan?
No, he's not. He's not. He's not.
Oh, okay.
He's a
All
Jeff
right.
Gordon fan, really.
Oh, okay.
Rusty Walrus looks like David Land. I just noticed that.
Guys,
I'll take that.
David Land, is that secretly you?
guys, I've been watching Rusty here for a while. He's got such an underrated channel, in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, this might sound bad, but you look like a white Markiplier.
Markiplier is white.
No, he's Mark Martin Applier.
Yeah. Oh man. So how's everyone doing?
I'm tired and want to go to bed, but I don't want to.
Well, you could be like me, and I've had an interesting day, to say the least. So aside from doing my YouTube stuff, I manage a hotel. So last night, if you're not familiar with hotel work, we have to have, it's a 24-hour business. So someone's got to be there at night to do the night audit. Hold on.
Oh, I look like PewDiePie? I don't see it.
Anyone want some candy?
I don't have that. I don't have as good of a beard game.
Okay.
What
Never
up,
mind.
David?
Anyways, like I was saying, I've had an interesting day. So where I manage a hotel, yesterday I had to work from morning until about 1 o'clock, and I had to go home and sleep for a while. And JC, I'm hearing like a lot of loud noise from you. I'm just throwing that out there.
Sorry, that's candy. That's candy.
Oh, okay.
I get hungry sometimes.
Well, that's fine. We all do. But anyway, so I long story short, I had to work until 1 o'clock yesterday, come home, sleep. I got like 2 hours of sleep, and then I just literally laid there with my eyes closed forever. And then I had to be back at work at 11 o'clock last night, and I did 11 to 7. Well, it comes some bad storms overnight, and power went off at 1 o'clock. Didn't come back on until 4:15, and there's no power, there's no Wi-Fi. I had all these things planned to work on for my YouTube stuff, but in the end, I just sat there in darkness and silence for 3 hours.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not the only one that sees the Tower of Hats.
My hat name is King.
Yeah, wow. All right, so we got Hat Guy, we've got White Markiplier. We need a nickname for. Wait, where did the third guy go?
I think he lost his connection.
Okay, well, this is easier to keep
But
track.
I'm
Five-
NASCAR.
But maybe 5 is about all we need to really have based on what we've seen so far.
We
Yeah.
have a question from Tristan Biesel. Question for everybody: what is your favorite race of all time?
That's always such a hard question because I feel like it can change so much.
Didn't the three of us answer this like last week? Because I think I remember saying mine was or it might have been like favorite finish or something. I can't
I
remember
think
what
it
it was.
was favorite finish. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about my favorite race.
God, that's tough. The 92 Hooters 500 is pretty amazing. 2005 Daytona 500. Honestly, if we're going with just favorite overall, it's 2012 Quicken Loans 400 because I was there. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I cried like a baby. 13-year-old me.
Well, we got the Racers TV back here.
I'm
Welcome
sorry,
back.
guys. My internet kind of quit on me. It does that.
Hey,
a
we're
lot.
bad internet buddies.
As long as you don't quit on us.
Yay.
You guys are the two that are filming on potatoes.
Indeed.
Everyone loves a good potato video, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of quality content I make.
Yeah.
All right. So favorite race. You guys got any up there?
2011 Aaron's 499 for me.
That was
pretty
a good
incredible.
one.
I didn't like the 2-car tandem, and I love that race.
I'm opposite. I love the 2-car tandem. I love to watch it. I love to do it on the video games. I was a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games, I got one for you all after you pick your favorite races.
Okay. My favorite race, I think. Gosh, man, there's just so many of them, though.
I'm gonna say mine for the sheer just ridiculousness of the entire event would be the 2012 Daytona 500. But I also have a sentimental because my guy won that one. But that's my
That was a
favorite
pretty
race.
awesome race.
If you're able
I
to
can
somehow
tell you-
watch it all.
I can tell you my dad's favorite race, which was the 2007 Daytona 500, because he clearly was not a Mark Martin fan. I think he was, actually.
I think my favorite one was probably the 2014 Daytona 500.
That was really
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I I remember watching that one in my college dorm and just being really excited while my roommate was doing whatever, and he wasn't a NASCAR fan, but he didn't really realize why I was over at my TV cheering so loud.
I want to mute myself for a second, real quick.
I had to case the 2016 fall Phoenix race when Kenseth got wrecked at the end. I was watching the race. My roommate was just sitting next to me, I don't know, screaming at people on Rocket League, I think is what he was doing. That's what he did most of the time. And yeah, I that was the loudest and like most expletive driven moment we had ever spent together, because we weren't that close. He was really confused. He didn't understand why I was so excited, or not excited, I guess that's not the right word. I was riled up, I suppose is the right word. And yeah,
just a wee bit ornery.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Anyway, yeah, my roommate last year used to spend hours at a day just on Rocket League yelling at people. It was honestly really funny, but it was a little funny. It was weird. I don't know. The side story there.
Yep. I feel so left out. I'm like the only one who doesn't have something necessarily NASCAR on right now, because I've got just this plaid shirt and a Tennessee Vols hat.
God, get with it, man. How long have we been doing this?
I think you offended him.
I wish I brought.
I would have to say.
Hey, buddy, you still there?
His hat really hurts so badly.
There you go.
I can't see what it says.
I can't tell what that is.
He's repping.
Oh, okay.
We wouldn't have a hat battle, boy. I got like 15 hats behind me right now. I could take you on, man.
I could too. I collect.
I'll take on that challenge then.
You see my Clementine hat in the background? I need you to play The Walking Dead.
Oh shoot! I don't have my best one. I have I'm excellent hat from regular show, but I don't have it with me. It's somewhere else.
I got you all beat, but I don't think I want to put this on. I can't breathe in it.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Okay.
I have Kyle Busch hat. I don't even like Kyle Busch.
Hey, JC, you should turn your camera off until you get it on.
Welcome to.
Oh my God.
I am the fire.
And that is now on the internet forever.
Somebody of these 46 viewers has probably screenshotted that.
They will now.
We're gonna make memes. Oh man, this is fun. We went from shit show heavy to shit show light.
Yeah, in bite-sized form.
Yes. Oh man. All right. Let's see.
I actually got a question for y'all. What is your favorite NASCAR game?
NASCAR Thunder 2004.
NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup for me.
Mine's honestly probably a three-way tie between NASCAR Thunder 2004, NASCAR 07, and honestly NASCAR Heat 2. I would say that's a three-way tie for me.
Yeah, I think 05 was the last one I even played. I haven't touched them in forever.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on NASCAR 98. That's how old I am.
I have that in my basement, I think.
I had 2001 for my PlayStation 1 that I played for a while. I actually had that after I had Thunder 2004. I went back and played it, and I don't know, it's wild.
Yeah. I think for me it's 2005. Now, if we're talking like pure console games, that's it. But if you talk about things that are along the lines of PC, I think it's I don't want to say iRacing because iRacing is something completely different. But now NASCAR Racing 2003 by Papyrus, now that is a great PC game.
It's like the most like there's like all those different mods for it. It's the most like modded NASCAR game.
It is, and you could do so many like things. There's like mods for dirt track racing. There's mods for the Whelen Modified series. There's mods for late models. I mean, there's everything for it.
You know, I thought of this, and I think it'd be funny to say, so I'm gonna say it. This sort of like little panel kind of reminds me of when I look through my when you go to the Creator Studio and you go to like your audience tab, they give you like the demographic layout.
Yep.
100% male. It's like, oh, okay. I'm glad I have an appeal to some people. Kidding.
I'm looking at the chat here again. Williams World said, "Can you guys invite me?" The only unfortunate thing is, guys, I don't know if that's going to work out to do this. Like getting so many people in. I think what we've got here is just going to work. Honestly, it was way too. It went way too wrong, way too fast.
It went so wrong, so fast. And yes, AB68, you're right.
What I guess you could do is just DM Danny on Twitter and ask him to maybe put you in for next week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A couple people asked what the worst NASCAR game is. For me, it's
NASCAR 06.
Yeah. Mine would be probably NASCAR 15.
I hate 2011.
I like 2011. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's because it was like one of the first. I think it was the first one I had on PS3, and so like I felt the HD.
I think
fun with the physics on 11.
I think what the thing with 2011 is that when we first saw that commercial of Dover, it made you think of like the Joey Logano 2009 wreck, and it was like wow, this looks so good, and it's like, oh no, it's not really that good.
Yeah, I fell for the trap. Let's see. Here's Kyle Newton Kane fan says, "I loved 06 and 07 was my favorite." I liked 06. 07 was all right too.
Yeah, 06 gave it a very unique feel to it. It just kind of fed more into trying to. Well, so I don't know if I necessarily like that it's total team control, because obviously that gave you the ability to. I think you could actually change drivers at some point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Nowadays, EA would make that like available with a microtransaction.
Yeah.
Each series is a microtransaction. Each driver microtransaction, mitro.
But see, I had NASCAR 09 for the PlayStation 2, and that I think they took kind of what they established with NASCAR 06, and they turned it into more or less if you're in a situation on track, you can request one of your teammates try to help you a little bit, and that was one thing that I think they kind of more improved on in that case.
What year did they have autograph sessions? I remember that in 2006 also, when they were doing
it in 2005.
Can you guys
explain? They introduced them in 2005.
Okay.
What is that?
Oh, autograph sessions?
Yeah.
So basically, you're like, it just shows you a bunch of really poorly animated fans, and then you have to press like for instance, I had Xbox, so I had to press like A, B, X, or Y to sign autographs, and it helped your prestige.
Honestly,
you'd hear "You suck." You're such a jerk. Oh man, you forgot me.
You miss one, and then you like half of them are like, "You suck. I hope you crash." I'm like, damn, it's real NASCAR fans.
Honestly, for me, all it was a mini game that gave you more hand-eye coordination. That's all it really was.
Pretty much. Oh, let's see. I take it you guys are all the ones that are really good in the chat, because the chat really slowed down after this. Other than AB68 and Dave Cunningham and a few other on there, but it's like, come on, guys.
This live streaming stuff is brutal. I went live last night. I think I had 2 viewers the whole time, and it's just, I give you guys credit. This is really nerve-wracking, kind of challenging stuff to keep the conversation going. So I love what you guys do, and thanks for having me on YouTube.
No problem.
I never got the notification that you went live. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
Like the first time that I did it alone, I had like I think a peak of 6, and I'm like, oh crap, this is actually.
Oh, I mean, this has just slowly gotten better. I mean, when me and Iceberg first did this, we maybe had like 2 or 3 viewers at most.
Yeah, it was actually funny because we sat on the link. We were on the link already, and we were just like watching the dual races. And all of a sudden, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened. He's like, don't tell me. I'm like, 3 laps behind you. So I'm sitting there, it's like there's this crash, and I'm just like waiting for it. And he's like, oh boy. I'm like, oh, now we finally saw it. I'm like seeing the 3rd replay.
Gosh, have we really been doing this since the dual races? Time has flown on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I've actually managed, whether it's a crappy video about my half marathon or actually NASCAR content, I've managed to get a video a week.
Yeah, same here. And Right now, I'll give you all a little sneak peek here. I'm in the process of getting this week's video done. I'm still in the script writing process of it. You know, y'all see these little 6 to 10, however many minute videos I put out once a week. It takes so much to make those, guys. I mean, it takes so much time to really make those.
I can imagine.
I know, man. I got you.
Asking, what's the first race that you attended?
2001 Daytona 500.
Oh,
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Gosh.
Wow.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Okay.
There was a great race before that.
Serious question though. I mean, how was it really? How did you really feel after that race when you left?
Well, it was spooky. Like there was grown men crying. I mean, you didn't know what happened. I think when we got back to the hotel, we were down in like the Cocoa Beach area. I think I forget what that area is called in Florida, but it took us like a couple hours after the race to get back to the hotel, and then the news came on the just the local news of Mike Helton, and that's when we all found out. And yeah, there was grown men crying. I'll never forget it. Like my dad was in tears. The first time still the only time I've seen him cry. It's unbelievable feeling. It's spooky to think about.
How old
I
were
still
you?
have vision because I sat down in I think it was the Old Field Towers, and I remember looking down into turn 4, and I saw that like exact vision of him hooking up, and that's something I'll never forget.
How old were you?
Oh, 16, 15, I don't know.
God, you make me feel so young. I was 2.
I think I was 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was like 6.
Please don't tell me I'm the youngest one here.
You might be.
Damn it.
I'm 17 going on 18, so.
Yeah, I'm not the youngest.
Wait, so you were... When were you... Wait, what? Were you even born then?
Oh, God.
Racer TV? Were you even born then when during the 2001 500?
I was born in 2000.
Okay.
I was around in 2001 when Dale passed away. I don't remember anything about it though.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
I've actually never gone to a NASCAR race.
Everything from 2004 to 2000's a blank.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to go to JC.
I've actually never gone to a NASCAR race because we couldn't really afford to go to anyone. Since, well, now there's Kentucky Speedway. That's where I live. But I've actually went up to a drag race up in like Cedar Point, Ohio. This was long ago, so I don't remember it. What I do remember is I wore a hat, and I was stupid. I was standing so close to the fence, and when they whizzed by, the hat just blew off, and we went at least 200 feet down, 200 feet down the sidewalk there, and I was just chasing after it.
See, that's probably gonna be me because I still have yet to go to the NHRA races at Bristol, and I really want to do that this year if I can.
I just want to say really quick for the people in the chat that either got kicked or have been around a while and went on. If we do, because we only would do this on off weeks, I'm writing down like which ones there are and whatnot. And there's a lot of you I do remember seeing a lot of. So just know what the same comments are there. I'm taking note.
This wasn't anything personal. It's just that when we tried this, it was a mess and we couldn't do it.
It's just business.
Just good business.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
like
good.
Pirates of the Caribbean reference.
It's what's best for business. You see, if any of y'all are wrestling fans, you might get that reference.
I am not. I do not get it. All right. How about this? Yes, NASCAR Lover 2018. I remember you. So maybe shift a little away from racing really quick. I'm wearing my favorite band's t-shirt, Led Zeppelin. What's your guys's?
I don't know.
I don't got a shirt, but my favorite band's Skillet.
Okay, I respect that.
I could get criticized for this one, but I could listen. No.
David Cunningham, that's rude, man. That's rude. He's saying we're turning into mainstream media. Come on, we don't look like we're in our 50s, do we?
I could listen to Avenged Sevenfold a lot. I really could.
Yes. I actually just ordered a picture. It's like a poster, and it's got M Shadow, Sinister Gates, Zacky Vengeance, Johnny Christ, and the Rev, and all of their autographs. And was like, oh, and I got it for like $20. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have the Rev's autograph. So, I've been like geeking out waiting for that to show up.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Anyone else? Who else has a favorite band, or are we just not fans of music? Neomir
I like
8
all
like
kinds.
Rush. All right. What? Any in particular?
Nothing really in particular. Like I'll listen to anything really.
Okay, I can respect that too.
My nostalgic favorite band growing up was the All American Rejects. They were classic for me. Nowadays, though, I've been listening to this band you might have heard called Ghost. They're like
I saw them.
Doom metal band. I'm not super into that genre, but I gotta say I have been hooked to their stuff for a couple months now.
Yeah. Oh. Do you know? This is just a rumor, but well, it's not exactly a rumor. David Grohl plays with them a bit, right?
I've heard that. I heard that I think he played with them. Like, you know, they all are like they all wear masks. So for the longest time, we didn't know who any of them were. I don't think. But I know that was a rumor. He played with them for like a couple shows some years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's wild.
You remember how he broke his leg like in 2016, and so he always had to be sat down?
Oh yeah.
We were at the show in Janesville. I have some videos recorded from Avenged Sevenfold that day, but the drummer was like having to be helped up and was hobbling around and stuff, but was like drumming like David Grohl, and we're just like, me and my dad are sitting there because we weren't too crazy about him. We liked there's that one song like Cerise, I think it is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we're like, I like that one, but I'm not too crazy, you know, about it. And then it's like, yeah, I wasn't crazy about the drummer. And then we look and see David Grohl. It's like, never mind.
Yeah.
We like the drummer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I saw them in Corpus Christi. I drove a couple hours down just because I really wanted to see them live a couple months ago, and it was intense. It was wild. I hadn't seen anything quite like that before.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
LT Smash asked, "What other motorsports do you guys watch?" I guess besides NASCAR, I'd say I'd followed dirt track racing a little bit more. Not necessarily like a hardcore fan, but keep up more of like the Lucas Oil late models a little bit here and there, and World of Outlaws a little bit mostly. But our local track gets the Lucas Oil and World of Outlaw late model series here to once for each series each year. So generally it brings in the same drivers both times, but brings a lot of big names into the world of dirt track racing. So I guess that would be my second favorite genre of racing.
Nice.
I like watching. Like the first time I went to a dirt track race was when they brought the sprint cars to my hometown, and like I just was like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like the fence is like 10 feet tall, right? And we're like, oh, we're good. We had to sign a waiver to be where we were sitting, right? We're like, oh, it's fine. So like there you see these two cars, and they're like right near each other. They go through a turn. One of them gets hit, goes into the wall in turn 4, right? His tire snaps off, bounces into the air like 30 feet up in the air, and just bounces all the way down the straightaway, and then bounces another like 50, maybe 60 feet in the air up into the billboard that was next to the track. And we all look at each other and we're like, okay, if they actually crash into us, we're screwed. we're like it's gonna be bad. Just bad. But that's
what Austin Dillon's crashed to shame.
I want to say I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm changing my Google name here to reflect my channel name. So if I get kicked, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, my name is on there. So like they were like before we even set our names on it, like because for the first few streams I was just the Iceberg, and I was like, oh, how'd everyone find out my name? Did I get doxxed? And it's like, no, you idiot, your name is on the stream. I don't watch it that much, but it's like, oh, damn. Well, so much for that.
I mean, people who follow my Twitter know my name. I won't tell it here because I'm private.
No
I
problem.
mean, that's fair. We'll respect that privacy.
Somebody
I mean,
asked,
I don't really care if you say my name.
say my name.
You're Iceberg.
Goddamn right. Also, somebody asked, did we watch the NCAA tournament? I only watched a bit. I was rooting for Loyola. I think they're going to be my new team now. I like those underdogs, man.
See, I was happy that Loyola beat my Tennessee Vols pretty early. And at the time, I thought, dang, that sucks. We lost to like this no-name team, but then that no-name team went on to the Final Four. So I was like, okay, I don't feel so bad about that now.
Yeah, so it's like at least they're, pretty good. AB68 Rusty's just sitting there like he's watching a comedy show right now.
It's been great. I love it.
I've been noticing that, Rusty. You've been very quiet during this whole time.
Letting you guys talk. I mean, if you want to kick me out, bring someone else in. I'm for that. I'm just having fun watching and listening. This is great.
I'm enjoying saying those.
Like a snake waiting for the right moment to strike.
He told that Daytona story was a good story. I like that.
Yeah. I'm enjoying saying those Harvick and Stewart diecasts you got back there.
Yep. Well, this one's the Tony Stewart one when he won his first Busch race. So that was kind of a big deal for me. Daytona's got a special place in my heart. So this was the race, if you guys remember, where he went down into turn 1 and went into the infield.
Yes.
And he came back from like 18th, kind of like Dale Sr. did, and won the race. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty special.
That was such an incredible race.
Did he really not win a Busch Series race until he ran for Kevin Harvick?
That was the first one.
Oh my goodness!
Wow! And then he won all of them at Daytona for so long.
I think he won like 4 out of the 5 Busch races in a row at Daytona for a couple years. Like it was like 5 to 8. And you guys would probably know, but.
And he drove for so many teams. He drove for Harvick. He drove for Gibbs. He drove for Hendrick and Jr. He drove for so many teams.
I remember he did like a no-name team, and he ended up winning in it. It's like just Tony Stewart, Daytona. Don't matter what car he's in.
Which I will say, man, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Which no-name was it?
I will. Sorry.
No, go.
Sorry about that.
I will say the fact that Stewart won so many Xfinity races at Daytona is surprising because as Double E said in his video, he had not won a Daytona 500, which is really surprising.
That was always
the fact that he won all these races in the Xfinity series at Daytona.
He won like a couple 400-mile races in the Cup Series at Daytona, didn't he?
Yeah, he just never won the 500. I don't know if that's just bad luck, bad vibes. I don't know what happened.
How is it that we live in a world where Sterling Marlin has 2 Daytona 500s and Tony Stewart doesn't have any?
Michael Waltrip has
2 days.
Oh yeah, God.
Trevor Bayne has a Daytona 500.
And Tony Stewart
has a Daytona 500.
Oh my God, yeah.
I saw this hilarious meme. It took Sane from SpongeBob, and if you're familiar with the thing where there's a guy who comes out, woo! I just got my license, and he says, hey, I'm getting mine next. It had Clint Boyer and Trevor Bayne. Clint Boyer's like, hey, I just got my win. Trevor Bayne's like, I'm getting mine next. He's like, hey, I doubt it.
Here's another good one. The Swagmaster 40 goes, what's your guys' favorite NASCAR paint scheme?
We've kind of talked about this before. I think the 3 of us have, but let's hear from you guys.
Yeah.
I think mine is can't remember what exactly the sponsor was, but I think it was either Kellogg's or CarQuest. That was with Mark Martin in 2009. When he first drove for Hendrick and whooped ass at 50.
Yeah.
That was a great season and great car too. It's just that they took basically like what Casey Mears and Kyle Busch had and just kind of revamped it a little bit.
I'll jump in here.
My favorite paint scheme is.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My favorite paint scheme is Ryan Blaney's number 12 that he has nowadays, the bright neon with the pinstripes. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like having the 12 back, just in general. I like having the 12 car back because that font and the lettering style and everything, the Penske like number style, I've always loved.
Him and Menard both run that scheme off and on, and I like what they do with Menard more. He gets more of the red Menard's logo and the red number usually more, and I think that makes it just pop so good.
They just look like.
I'm glad they don't run it in the same race.
Yeah, it's
you wouldn't
like
be able to tell them apart.
I'm scared there's gonna be one race where they do.
What was the team? Oh, it was the 2015 race where Austin Dillon flipped into the fence. Him and Stewart had Bass Pro Shop cars that race, and then I think McMurray did too.
There was an all-star race, I think it was a few years ago, where I think 3 Roush cars, I think Edwards, Biffle, and Kenseth all ran almost the same exact Fastenal paint scheme.
Yeah, that was the Richmond race had one like that because it was like they all had 911 cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Rusty Walrus, I think you're the last one.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm a big fan of the old school Rusty cars, but I think we can all agree that the this Dale Jr. one is probably the best, especially with this year car. This is probably my favorite. So.
Yeah, the way the headlights and everything were and the design of the 06, 07 cars. That's like right as I started getting in, so he's competitive.
Yeah. That was the best.
I got in 2005, right? And I was like, worst year ever to get in as being a Dale Jr. fan. Like, if I wasn't a diehard after that year, I don't know what the hell I was.
No, I mean, I got to say the retirement car here though is pretty nice.
And then Corey Clapp put the 2017 Dale Jr. Mountain Dew. My name is on that car.
Ooh.
I'm like right next to the N on the deck lid. So if you have a microscope, look at your.
That's a cool credit to have there. That's nice.
Put it on my resume when I go for jobs.
On a car.
My name's on Dale Jr.'s car. You're hired.
Along with like 99,000 others.
Dale Jr. knows my name.
He knows me. He signed my hat. Yeah, I actually, when I met him, I was like, it was right after he got it.
You're probably shaking.
I was like, he had just. Let me see. I don't have a hat near me.
I like Corey and Jacob in the chat say their names on that car too.
Yeah. I'll be sure to look for yours whenever my diecast finally shows up. It was like, oh, it'll be here in December. It's not here. But
they always delay those.
When I met him, I was like, I'm sitting there shaking, and I'm like, oh my god, he got back from like a 40-mile bike ride with Trevor Bain and Jimmy Johnson. So like they're like, oh yeah, how's it going, guys? You know, this and that, and they're signing for this kid and stuff, and I'm just sitting there, Junior, and he goes right by me. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, and then he turns around, and I'm like, oh shit, and I drop everything. I'm like, thank you.
That would be me. That would be me.
I like shook his hand, patted him on the back. I'm like, you're the best. He's just like, it's like, this dude's like 43, trying to keep up with a world-class athlete and a 24-year-old. So I give him credit. But that was like one of those surreal moments where have any of you guys seen Almost Famous?
No, I haven't.
Well, it's like there's this scene where this guy is like holding a pen. He's like, Robert Plant touched this pen. I'm never washing my hands or getting rid of this pen. Robert Plant touched this pen. That's me. It's like Dale Jr. gave me a sweaty handshake. I'm never washing this hand again.
Slightly on topic, we're talking about the Dale Jr. Mountain Dew car. Makes me think, okay, Mountain Dew, you can stop with Dewey Rider. I'm never going to like that.
I liked like the first one that when it first showed up, and then I realized it was going to be the new KFC commercial where it just plays every other commercial.
And now they're trying to make new variations of it, and that actor is like not even that good.
What's the deal with like the fishnet sleeves on his fire suit? That's the most revolting thing I think I've ever seen on national television.
Let's be honest, like when it comes to NASCAR commercials or cars or shirts, we always end up with like the ugly end of the stick.
Yeah.
Like I have this one Dale Jr. shirt from like 2012, and at the time, I was like 13, 14. I'm like, this is badass. It's got the car here, and it's got the Dark Knight, and it has like all the way wrapped around and stuff. And there's like this green looking. It honestly looks like those zombie games that were like back in the day where you shoot them and they have like green blood spray out. It looked like that green blood was all over my shirt. It was like I look at that and I'm like, all right, this is my backup undershirt for work.
Yep.
I just remember going to like me and my dad driving home from a race. We both had on like a Matt Kenseth shirts that were like black, but with like tons of yellow, just super eye popping all around. Like you're saying, like maybe pretty much every NASCAR shirt looks. We go into a Whataburger and like Waco or something like that, middle of nowhere. Nobody knows what's going on. We got the cashiers were looking us up and down. They didn't know what to make of what we were looking. We stood out in a crowd. Let me put it that way. It's crazy. I have a Matt Kenseth shirt now. It's a little more subdued, but I had a shirt, I think in like 2011. It was when he was sponsored by Crown Royal, and I didn't have any Crown Royal logos on it, but they had a shirt that was just black with like in the corner it had like a really big like 17 logo with some like purple streaks coming off of it. It was really simple, and I was like, that is a stylish shirt. I wish I still had. Well, it wouldn't fit me now, but I wish they still made shirts like that, or that were more just like stylish as opposed to like the big popping sprawling designs, which are cool when you're at like the track, but when you're anywhere else, not that cool.
I'm going to answer a question here real fast. Gavin Eats Bacon asks, should Indy be moved to the All-Star race? Answer me. I've been asking this the whole stream. Simply put, no. I don't think that'd be a good idea.
No.
Absolutely not.
They need a track that is more exciting than Charlotte, not less.
I would say if we moved it anywhere, I would say either leave it at Charlotte or maybe do something like a short track like Bristol, maybe.
Yeah. I like that. Or maybe Martinsville.
Look at Iceberg here. He's showing off his awesome shirt here.
I think his mic's turned off or something.
Yeah, his mic is turned off.
Mic's turned off.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
Okay, you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
I wore this in public. Look at this. Like, I was proud. I wore this in front of like a bunch of girls I like, thinking I was a badass. And then I wondered why I couldn't get a date.
The Batman face on it too.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I know your issue. You needed the Tower of Hats.
Yes. Yes.
Look at this. Yeah. And honestly, someone brought this up, and I love this paint scheme. But for the love of God, the Dark Knight Rises like logo on it, it does look like a giant seagull took a shit on it. It does. What is this? It's like, okay, so like I like dinosaurs a lot, like actually do. It's like not like just a little kid thing, and they're related to birds. That's what I imagine it would look like if a T-Rex was perched on one of those wires over your car. Like, this is what I expect.
I don't know. I would wear that in public, but I wouldn't feel like a badass. Like see, that's where you went wrong. Is thinking, oh, I look good. I would be sitting there like, yeah, I know I look a little weird, but
15-year-old me is like, just got out of football practice, walking past the cheerleaders, got the shirt on, got Dark Knight. It's like, God, this looks great. And then it's like 17-year-old me came back right before senior year, and I was like, should I or should I not burn this?
What did I do?
I was like, oh, what have I become?
Oh, hold on. Okay. On that note, y'all talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna go get a shirt that I look back and I'm like, I wish I hadn't got this.
God, my shirt scared the host off the damn stream.
Speaking of shirts,
you can go. You go first.
All right. Speaking of shirts, I saw on Twitter. I'm not sure if you all heard of this, but apparently this father was tweeting. His daughter wore a Chase Elliott Hooters shirt to school, and she got sent home because it was apparently inappropriate.
Oh, good.
Oh
Lord.
yeah, I saw that.
I guess it's the Hooters logo, but that's a little.
You kidding me?
Yeah, that's.
And Hooters actually replied to it.
Oh, the way you go.
Meanwhile, you go see 15-year-olds playing volleyball, and it's like, oh wow, they're in like Hooters Light.
I want to see this shirt.
Yes.
All right. So this is like 2010 at Bristol. For whatever reason, me at whatever age that would have been now, I'm thinking that this shirt right here is the best thing in the world.
Oh my God. I have an idea. Okay, if we ever meet up, like of us three that are hosting,
and then
up at a race,
there's the back of it too.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
See, that looks like something that would be on like a cave painting in like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And now it's like I can't even remember the last time I wore this one now.
Okay, here's what I say. If us three, Danny and Eric and I, if we meet up at a race and do like a meetup or a fan meetup thing or whatever, we wear our most ugly T-shirt possible.
Well, okay.
If I happen to be at the same race, I'm flipping all three of you off.
All right.
Is that a deal?
I don't think I've told this story before, but did I tell you about the time? I don't think I've told you guys. I tell you about the time I dressed up as Matt Kenseth for a school project in 6th grade?
Nope.
No.
Okay, I don't think I've maybe mentioned it on a stream once, but it was maybe a long time. I don't actually know if I have. But there was a school project in 6th grade where we had to like pick from a list of famous people and like dress up as them and give like a speech in front of the class as that person. I don't remember what all the criteria was, but I was like, okay. So I'm looking, they gave us like a packet with maybe 200 names of people on it. I'm scrolling. You got like George Washington, I don't know, Jennifer Lawrence wasn't famous. No, I'm just trying to think famous.
Jennifer Aniston.
Like Will
Aniston
Smith. Yeah, there you go. I don't know, like, you got George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, like Babe Ruth, these types of names on there. I'm scrolling through. I see like, oh, look, there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Oh, look, there's Richard Petty. I scroll a little further. There's Matt Kenseth. Like, why is Matt Kenseth on this list? But I'm like, shoot, I got to be Matt Kenseth for this thing, even though nobody's going to know who I am. So I'll see if I can find a photo of it, because I think I have a video on my computer somewhere of me dressed up. I think I was just wearing like a T-shirt that I taped a bunch of sponsors to and like a hat and sunglasses. And that was me in 6th grade as Matt Kenseth giving a speech.
I'm officially intrigued.
Yeah, I'll have to find that somewhere. Maybe I'll tweet it.
We should.
Is there a reason that I'm partially scared of it? Ow.
I don't think I didn't look that scared. I'm going to find it. Hold on. You guys I can still hear you. I'm just going to look this up.
Okay.
I remember when I was a kid, I dressed up for Halloween as Jeff Gordon. Like, I had the hat, sunglasses, fire suit.
I did that too, actually. I think I was Jeff Gordon. I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. I wasn't even a Jeff Gordon fan, but he had the coolest fire suit. So I did that.
The 2016 night race at Bristol, I remember one guy specifically, I saw him like maybe 10 times throughout the day. He must have felt like the greatest thing in the world because he was walking around in a Matt Kenseth Dollar General fire suit, and he must have felt like a king that day. And then he even had he had a hat on, and he was holding a helmet too the whole time. He's walking around, he's got to be thinking he's just the king of the Kenseth fans.
The belle of the ball over there.
Did he throw a helmet at Tony Stewart?
No, he did not. But he did. I did see him walking around with like a thing of nachos one time. So.
Yeah, I dressed up as Dale Jr. and I got there's this in my grandparents' basement. They had this helmet, right, and they had all this stuff on it, sort of scrapes and all that. And we put 2 number 8 stickers on both sides, and we're like, oh, I'm Dale Jr. And I find out later that this is a helmet that my uncle wore as he always would crash his like 4-wheeler or whatever. So I was like, oh. Great luck. I guess that kind of fits with the whole Dale Jr. concussion deal.
No.
What?
Man, that's fun. That's good. It's the concussion.
All right, who's your guys' least favorite driver? What's up?
I said I found the picture, by the way.
Oh boy.
That'll be on Twitter before too long.
Oh, I'm ready for this beautiful cringe.
Hold on, I gotta crop it a little, otherwise it's not a very good photo. All right, hold on. All right, keep talking. What were you saying? You were answering a question.
While we're doing this, yeah, who's your guys' least favorite driver?
Well, I'm gonna jump on this one. We all have like a lot of regrets in life, and one of mine is I think it was 2016, whatever Carl Edwards turned out to be his last year. I went to the Chicagoland race, and you get the infield access for free with your ticket. And as they're like on the back of the pickup truck doing like the waving to the fans, I was literally right on the start-finish line, and he's like 5 feet from me, and I'm like, "Hey, Carl, you suck!" And he turned and looked at me, gave me the thumbs up, and ever since then, I've just had this like So if Carl Edwards is watching, I'm sorry, dude. He's my least favorite driver. I was just having fun, but
it makes you think, what's the last thing you could possibly say to somebody, and then their career's over after that?
See, my mom got a megaphone for when we went to Michigan in 2016, and she hates Joey Logano, and was going to yell, and she didn't get the chance to because we were outside the track and didn't get there until after pre-race and stuff. She was going to yell, "Hey, Joey, isn't it past your bedtime already? Doesn't your dad need to pick you up?"
I mean, I think of it like this. You know, Rusty was saying he was at the 2001 Daytona 500. You know, somebody, somewhere, because he wasn't the favorite to everybody, somebody there probably booed Dale Earnhardt in driver introductions, might have said, he sucks. I hope he crashes or something like that. And then how would they feel after that?
I wouldn't be able to live with myself, honestly. Oh, and Rusty, you were saying that you were at Chicagoland in 2016?
Yeah.
And you were in the infield?
Yeah, before the race, I don't know if you needed a hot pass or a cold pass, but literally because I sat probably like row 10 right on the start finish line, we just act like we own the place and just walk straight through that gate down into the infield. We walked pit road for the first time in my life, which is unbelievable. So yeah, that was 2016.
I go to Chicagoland every year in the infield.
Yep.
And if you look in turn 4, there's like, you know, all the campers and stuff. We're the second row in next to the medical center. We're the first camper there, and we have the congressman sticker on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Since that's my closest track, I think I've been there 6, maybe 7 times. So that's pretty cool. Small world.
Yeah, it's funny. We're like every time we're watching the race over again or something, we get back. It's like, hey, I'm on TV. Oh, there we go. So, like, do you live near Chicago, or I don't want to be specific in case you don't want to like.
I'm up in Minneapolis, so it takes me.
Are you
7 hours to get? I used to be, but I don't really follow baseball anymore.
That's a good one. Yeah, I live actually like 90 miles away from Joliet, so it's like. Yeah, the racing isn't the greatest, but at the same time, it's like the party's pretty fun in the infield.
Oh, yeah.
I tell people this a lot, but 11, 12-year-old me learned a lot about the female anatomy those first few summers. It's like, wow, their bikinis are really skin to, oh, God. Damn. Like, okay, I'm going to remember this trip forever. That was back when, like, lots of college kids used to go to the races and stuff and party. So it's not like now where it's either you're like 25 and under, or, you know, and mostly it's the and under, or like 45 and up.
Now, I'll say this: Talladega brings in a lot of college students. That one brings in a lot of young fans for that one. Which it's mostly just a place for. I feel like it's a place that's really close to a lot of bigger colleges, I think. And it gives them a chance. It falls in like a time of year, especially the April race, where it's like classes are getting done right before final test, and has a good little break for them to be able to go out and just drink beer and party. And they offer $24 tickets for college students, so it makes for a good weekend.
So I feel like Talladega is like the drunken Narnia, where you just like go in there and it's like, holy shit, it's a brand new world.
Yeah.
Like, there's like one of the things I saw when they were doing a thing in the infield. There were these girls in bikinis wrestling in like tomato sauce. I was like, then there's the strip, because it used to be like an airstrip back in the day, and it's like go down a little more, and there's like 3 or 4 girls pole dancing. It's like,
see, I never saw any of that, and I feel like if I did, my fiance would have been pretty upset.
You would have had the new like what's the trend now other than Tide Pods? You would have had like the Tide Pod trend in your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, you ever want to know what it's like to look at bleach right on? Go look at those girls and you'll find out.
Okay, speaking of weird internet trends and all that, so yeah, that's the newest thing, and people don't do that. You can find other things to do on YouTube. Look at us. We talk about NASCAR for YouTube.
Here's what I gotta say about it. I'm gonna step on my little pedestal here. If you're dumb enough to do that, we should not stop you, because Darwinism is taking place. Like, just saying. Like,
let nature take its course.
Like, if you're sitting there, it's like, hey, look at this. Here you go. It's like, yeah, you whatever happens.
I mean, when I was younger, the biggest challenge on YouTube was eating a few crackers really fast. I mean,
That turned into cinnamon.
yeah, which even then, that's not even that bad as some stuff.
If I ever have to resort to
chugging.
sending challenges for views, just please call me out on it and make me stop.
Some of them I can get behind, like we did for my cross country team. We got challenged by some school to do the ALS ice bucket challenge and then donate money. That stuff's cool.
That was one of the best challenges, I think.
And it raised so much money too. Like I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. And then we like challenge other people, and it just sort of like it became a trend, like hopping school to school. Like each day, it's like, oh yeah, look at the guys about 20 miles away, they're dumping ice on each other. It felt really good after running like 16 miles.
Could I say, if we got off topic greatly, but I've been thinking about, my least favorite driver. There's always moments where, there are drivers that you like, that you go to not like or even hate, and drivers that you go to hate then you like. Because, for example, I used to hate Joey Logano, but now I've grown to like him a bit more. But one driver that's always been consistent that I did not like, and it was greatly increased last year, is I'm going to try to remain as calm as possible when I say it, Danica Patrick. The way she acted at Kansas last year is what made me absolutely despise her.
Yep.
It took that long?
Well, here's the thing. I live, maybe 5 miles south of where she grew up. Like the school she went to in high school is the school I went to's biggest rival, right? It's where like my aunt and uncle went to school. And so at first I'm like, I'm going to root for her. You know what? It's cool. Yeah, I hope the girl does well, whatever. And 13, I was like, oh, she's just bad first year. It's okay. 14, it's like, it's sophomore slump. 15, I'm like, okay, this is getting redundant. By 2016, I was like, when she started like yelling at fans and stuff, I was like, okay, I'm sick of her. I want her gone. Then 2017, that happened. I'm like, okay, what are we going to do about this? Like, she's yelling at fans.
I like the idea of Danica Patrick. It was just, unfortunately, after a while, it just kind of became harder and harder. I still wanted her to do well, even her last season. I'm rooting for her in the Indy 500. I hope she wins it. I don't think she will, but I hope she wins the Indy 500. But it became harder and harder to root for. I went from 2013 where I'm like, if she does well this year, shoot, I'll buy Danica t-shirts. Heck yeah. But
I feel so bad. I was talking about 2010. I bought that Bristol shirt. I also bought a Danica Patrick shirt in 2010.
Oh,
you still got it?
That's like the equivalent of a NASCAR tramp stamp.
I do still have it. Let me go see if I can find it.
Yes, I want to see this.
And by the way, I posted the photo of me and I think it was 6th or 7th. I think it was 7th grade actually. Of me in Kansas. So,
I'm retweeting it.
It's a beautiful photo.
See, it's like
smug look on my face.
It's like buying a Danica Patrick shirt or stuff or whatever is like when you look back and it's like that bad tattoo you got, and you're just like, that's the NASCAR equivalent, where it's like, damn, I regret that.
Not even laser surgery can fix that.
Yeah, it may just be a T-shirt, but it feels permanent. Permanent.
It burns to put on.
It's like it leaves a bruise on you that never heals.
Oh man, the purple one.
So,
yep, it would have been.
Iceberg. I know you said
11 or
you 10, said you wanted Danny, and Eric to meet up at one certain at a track. Mm-hmm. What track would you like to meet up at?
Well, we were thinking maybe Bristol if we were to do it. Because we got to kind of somewhere in the middle, because it's like one of us is in Texas, the other's in Tennessee, and then I'm damned to Illinois. So I don't know where we'd meet up.
I'm stuck in the middle.
No, not Kansas. I need a good race too. Like I can't just go and sit there and be like, oh yeah. There you
Funny
go.
thing is, Kentucky Speedway and Bristol, I'm literally just right between them.
I'm hoping I can go to Bristol this summer, but I don't have any definite plans for that. But I'm hoping it works out.
JC, if you say you're right between Kentucky and Bristol, like you're probably pretty close to me, because I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to Kentucky. I despise last year's race with a passion.
I just don't like the track in general. It's boring.
Yeah, it hasn't really been too good, to be honest. But okay, so I went and got this, and you know what? I'm going to do something pretty special here. I'm going to agree to wear this the rest of the stream.
Oh God.
3, 2, 1. There you go. This was 2010 me. And
Nice.
it's a little bit tighter, but it still fits.
I'm just glad there was a shirt on underneath when you removed that.
Yeah. Yes. Here you go.
That's what we should do for Talladega weekend. We should have a shirtless stream.
Nah.
Show my farmer stand off.
Yeah. No. Let's just all paint up with our different drivers' numbers.
Yeah. I don't hate the shirt though. It reminds me of this. There's this. I lived in South Houston for a year, and there's this wing place just specialized in hot wings, but it was like NASCAR themed, and they had that Danica Patrick car. I don't know if it was a real car, but it was basically a real car, like hanging from the ceilings upside down, right above your head as you ate. And I gotta say that was kind of cool. So brings back good memories. Getting wing sauce on Danica's car, throw it up on the ceiling.
I don't know, this is not important, but my name is not JC. I just made that to troll a friend. My name is actually Irishman. So
okay, I thought
Irishman.
I thought that's who you was, but I wasn't really sure.
And here I thought I knew you.
See, I was wondering why Irishman disappeared from the chat. It's like, that's weird. It's like that's the twist. It's like this is the twist at the end. This is like what a twist. It's an M. Night Shyamalan twist. That's probably better, honestly. I don't like M. Night Shyamalan.
Guys, my fiance's in the chat, and she said, "Glad I didn't know you back then." LOL.
She sounds like she has a great sense of humor.
Oh, she does.
Irishman's back in the chat, guys.
Oh,
I'm totally not him.
Try being a male Casey Kane fan and having to deal with. Oh shit! It went out. Damn.
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Having to deal with female Kane fans. Yeah, that's rough. I always liked Casey Kane.
When he went to Budweiser, it's just like, oh yeah, now we're gonna have a bunch of drunk 20-somethings running after him. Oh my God, Casey! Stop!
Imagine being a Mark Martin fan during the Viagra days.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, speaking of him, do y'all remember Kevin Conway? Didn't matter what car he was in. Didn't matter what car he was in. He always had that very interesting sponsor.
But I remember when he led a lap, and then ESPN is like, and Kevin Conway in the Extends Toyota. Okay, Dale Jr. is back in 25th.
At that point, we might as well have had a porn company sponsoring a car.
I want to see the Brazzers Chevrolet. I hope that's Jimmy Johnson's next sponsor. Driver of the Brazzers Chevrolet from El Cajon, Jimmy Johnson. He comes out and it's just like 2 C's.
Even better, he has to announce it himself at Bristol. Jimmy has to walk out and announce it himself.
I'd be way too scared that part of his contract would include that he has to do a movie.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
It's like, so what's the worst part? They made me shave everything. The Pornhub Chevy. Okay. Here's a good question. If Brazzers or Pornhubs was a sponsor for anybody, who would be the person? Like in all realisticness here.
I mean, not saying like a girl like Danica. Let's think more like the men driver.
Clint Boyer. I'm thinking Boyer. He'd really pull it off. Imagine him. Yeah, man. We were just sitting here.
5-hour energy Brazzers Chevrolet.
I feel like Joey Logano would be like just really funny if that was, I feel like he'd be like super visibly uncomfortable by his own sponsor.
Watching the whole time.
Yeah, like Joey, like he couldn't even give an interview anymore. He'd be like whispering into the microphone, like, "Yeah, we had a pretty fast car."
How would Tony Stewart be?
No. It would be so embarrassing. The driver would be like, the car was pretty tight.
Oh, here's C. Henry Bowman because he's the showman. No. It's like, and part of the contract is he has to be the showman.
And you can tell it's getting very late.
Who cares?
No, here's what you need.
We are starting to lose the rating on this.
Stephen Wall is sponsored by Hertz. He drives like it's a rental.
All right, let's all judge our mental state. Do we need help?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
You may rely on it.
See, you know what would have been the perfect sponsorship partnership. As if Mark Martin had with the Viagra one, Energizer, that just keeps going. I remember the old 2005, like, you know, NASCAR every year used to do these DVDs, right? They'd release them where it's like, where it's basically the highlights of the season. And I have the 2005 one, and it's like, here at a NASCAR race, you have a few beers, and it shows like Coors Light and Budweiser. Then it's like, go to the department stores, and it shows like Target. And then it's like, go get some home improvement stuff, and it shows Stewart and Lowe's, and even a Viagra, and it shows Martin, and you have a good time. And it's like, I didn't know what that meant being 8 years old. And so I put that in, and I was like, wow, it must have been, I think I was 13, because that was back when The Walking Dead first came out. And I just got through the first season, so I'm like, oh, I'll watch this. And I'm sitting there, and I just sat there. I was like, what?
Well, Irishman's just died.
Rest in peace. Irishman, have you seen the Boondock Saints?
Probably have, but I probably blocked it out of my mind.
It's got Norman Reedus, the guy who plays Daryl in The Walking Dead. But they're if you haven't, it's like one of those like cult movies. It's awesome. It basically, don't watch it with like little kids though, because there's a lot of fun language and other stuff.
Guys, as off topic as this stream is going, I'm really surprised we still have stayed at like 35 or more people.
Okay, seeing how it's on YouTube, I wonder if there was like a Pornhub sponsored car, if like YouTube would monetize the video. I'm sorry. I think of this stuff, man, and it's like
it's a fair question. I feel like that's one of those deals how, like, you know.
Well, it's a good thing I don't get monetization yet.
No, here's my dream pair up for that. You have the Pornhub Ford, the number 69, and it's Jeremy Mayfield.
Oh, God.
Bring back Jeremy Mayfield and have him drive that car.
No, I remember on Twitter, like before last year, like for whatever reason, Greg Biffle just randomly started getting on a run of tweeting out the number 69. So bring back Biffle and that.
I just imagine Mayfield. What drove you to get this as a sponsor? I don't know. It just came to me.
Imagine if Mayfield won in that car, though. He'd be like, yeah, we had a car all day. Yeah, it was really good. What?
We all know we were a little loose in one, got really tight in two. Oh, there are children watching this.
Yes, I was going to say that.
I know. Hey, they got to learn somewhere.
Better here than the streets.
Hey, I'm sorry. Like, if you ever watched The Goonies, that is the most like realistic kids in a movie ever. Like, that's how kids actually are.
Dude, that shuffle.
I love how all the videos that I usually make for my channel are usually pretty family friendly, but it seems like these streams are rated R at times.
Late night with Danny B.
Yo, screw that. NC-17.
I'm not going that far.
Adults only.
This is still PG-13.
Yeah.
This is still. It's on that.
Insidious can be
This is like
PG-13.
Deadpool. It's meant to be PG-13, but it's actually R.
This is TV-14. See, there's a difference between PG-13 versus like TV-14. We're at the 14.
What is the rule? Once it goes past 12 o'clock, we can go to TVMA.
Well, no, that's for us at least 8 o'clock. So probably 9 o'clock Eastern time. Because I just know this from Walking Dead. I remember me and my dad were always found it so funny the first 2 seasons. It's like iffy for 10 plus. You don't say. But now it's like iffy for like 17 plus. But then for a while it was like iffy for 14. I'm like, okay, it's a little more normal. But it's like, then I was like looked at 4 and it's like what was it? It's like brief male nudity and language. It's like, I think we're missing the point here, guys. It took a few guys' throats being slit before they finally were like, and violence.
AB68 says, I need a second channel. Danny B streams rated NC-17.
Oh, man. Well, let's be honest. Of the 3 hosting, we can definitely tell which one of us is the most non-child friendly. Figures it'd be well, I can't say the youngest one of us, but usually the youngest in the group. So immaturity, pass it on.
I save the swear words for private life mostly, and occasionally when I finish second in Fortnite, that sometimes will get out of me.
Oh man, and it's like, oh, so Jared, what do you want with your channel? I want to gain credibility. Well, we have these streams here. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
You know, speaking about YouTube and swearing and stuff. What I don't like, I try not to do it. I try not to do it really in general. If it slips out, I'm sorry, and even then, I try not to like say actual swear words. But I don't know. Like there are some channels that have gotten so popular when it's nothing but swear words, and I know that majority of their audience is like children. I don't know. I think there should be a little bit more value on that. We've had all the controversy with Logan Paul and all that about what can really be put out there for younger audience on YouTube and stuff. And even then, I was looking at something very weird in the okay. So you know how on YouTube it shows you like suggested videos you should watch. The first one on here is something in Arabic language. It's 10 minutes. It has 13 million views, and it looks like I see like Mickey Mouse in a police uniform pointing a gun at Minnie Mouse. It's one of these weird cartoons that are getting a ton of views that kids should not be watching.
Yeah, that's how they get through the system. Like there are these ones where it's like, oh yeah, it's fine or whatever, fine for the first few minutes, and they attach themselves on to these threads, or they make these like giant playlists, and it's like, oh, Spider-Man counts to 10, and it's like you see it and it's like, how is this illegal? I like this. AB68, Iceberg G, Eric PG13, Danny NC17.
I think that's
What am I?
Flip that a little there.
I think
what I'm seeing here is, oh wait, that's my video. No, I don't want that.
I feel like my rating has only gone up so much because I feel like out of all the nights that we've streamed, I feel like Iceberg has probably let out more swear words than anyone whenever he's on my stream for whatever reason.
It's all part of the
I can
plan.
beat that. I can beat that easily.
I don't think Danny wants it to.
Let's try not to, because I mean we do got kids who watch this.
This isn't a competition here, you know.
Yeah, as I look over to the picture of 9-year-old me with my new puppy at the time, like 11 years ago, and I'm like, what would that kid think? Well, he wouldn't even be watching me.
No, we talk about stuff kids should be watching on YouTube. There is the YouTube Kids app, but I've seen some pretty messed up stuff on there too. I don't watch it all the time, but I've seen some pretty weird stuff on there, like child predators videos that are completely different but are uploaded on the same time from regular YouTube to YouTube Kids.
This took a really crazy turn.
AB68 did his rating for the other three. He said JC is PG. The other guy, meaning I think it's the racing fan. I think it's what. I'm sorry, I didn't quite say your name, but he said he's NR, not rated. And then Rusty, you're just 2. He's just saying 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds.
Here's a good one. Favorite Netflix show. I just got done watching this one with my mom last night. Peaky Blinders.
Does that have to be a show exclusive to Netflix?
I don't think so. I mean,
well, if we're gonna go exclusive to Netflix.
I dropped Netflix actually. I stopped paying for Netflix, and I started paying a little bit more to have Sling TV. So it's basically cable service, basically.
I would say for me probably BoJack Horseman, but I hate that show. I don't know. It has its moments.
For me, on Netflix, I refuse to touch Big Mouth. I refuse to touch it.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
I scroll past it quickly.
So many people I know like that show, and it's like you don't realize like what this stuff enables, right? Okay.
Yeah, my favorite Netflix show is the anime 7 Deadly Sins.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I mean, I've seen that in.
I've heard of it,
but I haven't watched it.
I just got done watching Death Note a little bit ago. I thought that was pretty good. At least the first half of that show was pretty sweet. So I recommend Death Note for anime.
Dude, any of you guys that watch anime watch Avatar: Last Airbender?
Yeah, that was a good part of my childhood.
Got my Zuko Iroh wanted poster back there. I just felt like I should
Good plug.
Did you watch the amazing 2010 movie titled The Last Airbender?
My childhood ended that day. But just keep it the way that like all the Gen Xers were about the Phantom Menace is how I was about that movie.
Yeah. That's
Oh my god.
Show I really loved was Samurai Jack. I loved that.
Yep.
Uh,
How about you guys watch Rick and Morty?
Oh,
Shut
yeah.
up, Morty.
R.I.P. to that because that's done after this season.
Yeah. Show I really loved watching was Invader Zim.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it was always on because I watched it like when I was a little older, like 11 or 12. I just turned it on when it was on Nicktoons because at the time we had all those channels. Back when TV was relevant. Back in my day. But yeah, I like that one.
Here's a question for y'all. You know, we're all YouTubers and stuff. Who are some of your all's favorite YouTubers?
I'll let you guys go first.
Ryan Higa, one of the oldest, one of the original YouTubers. He's still one of my favorites to this day. He's been doing it for like 10 or 11 years now.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for him and his group.
There are a few channels that I watch that are it's more like a group organization, but I don't really count them. I count more like individual ones is who I like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of Jeff Fabiano, Polecat, and Bay Area Bugs. They're all kind of like a big group of friends who play games. I love watching all their channels, really. And then two other channels I really like is a guy named Saber Spark, who basically reviews a lot of animated series and animation in general. And I think he just does a very great job in all of his productions. And then another channel I like is Bruce Do Films. Like he posts like maybe once a month, and it's the most simple little videos, but it's always very good to me.
For me, I watch more like sort of political stuff a lot, and I won't go into detail because nobody wants to hear that. But I'll just like name off a few of them. I used to like Andy Worski before he turned into more of an idiot. Romy Millennial, I've been subscribed to her since she had less than 700 subscribers, and like now she's at I want to say like 280,000. So I'm like, damn, it's one of the original ones there. It's like I should have taken advantage of that. But yeah. Who else? Blair White, she's pretty interesting. God, who was the other one? There was one that actually wasn't political that I follow. I follow him for like I can't remember what his name is. Oh, Clayton Fiardi. He does stuff on like Jurassic Park. His channel is like all Jurassic Park stuff. And for me, like I like Jurassic Park. Like it's my favorite movie ever. So it's pretty cool having somebody there that's good. Oh, Urinating Tree. That's another one. Urinating Tree, Shoe on Head. Yeah, like I love Urinating Tree. If you want to see NASCAR in the last 15 years summed up in 4 minutes, go on his channel. He's amazing. Plus his voice is beautiful.
And then of course there's that DoubleEdud. He's a pretty good channel too.
I appreciate all the comments there. That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
DannyBTalks is pretty cool. And then that guy, the Iceberg, that dude, sexy as hell.
I actually stumbled upon one of Eric's stop motion videos a couple years ago. Of course, I didn't know who he really was.
Crazy, man. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he really was. I think it was it was one of the Double E Cup Series, the Christmas special, I believe.
Yep.
The one where Dale Jr. shoves Tony Stewart into the snow.
That's classic. Yeah, those are my favorites.
The stop motion NASCAR stop motion community, it still keeps growing for some reason because there's always more and more like more or less like younger generations that are trying to get into that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so hard for people like Eric to actually make something big out of that, which is really amazing for him to have reached the following he's gotten with the help of that, and then of course all of his other things. But
I don't know how I got to that point. When I started, like, God, how long ago? Like 6 years ago, basically, and I started making them. I mean, I knew they were good at the time, but I just didn't think people would care enough to watch that many. I mean, there's a few of them that have like several million views.
Like 6 million. That's nuts.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm flattered. I'm thrilled. I can't believe it. But I like seeing that. I mean, I haven't really done any of that, and it's been months since the last time I did a race. And people ask me all the time, when are you going to do more? When are you going to do more? When are you going to do more? And
I saw the April Fool's video you did there.
Yeah. I mean, I've hoped to do a little bit of some stuff this summer, but it's like, even when I'm not doing it, I know Gino, your Aflac Cup Series, still is going strong. He was there even before I was doing it, and that's crazy that he continues to do it. I'm glad his numbers are good. But
I like his.
I'm not going to bring up exactly what this was on, but I remember saying somebody said something about Eric, and he's like, isn't he like 23 still playing with cars? And it's basically I just replied, well, I mean, he's making money off of his videos, and all the cars he buys counts as a tax write-offs. And there's definitely a what's the word, demographic for those videos that's getting a lot of views. So, I mean, can you blame him for still doing that?
No, yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I don't enjoy it as much as I did several years ago. That's why I don't do it. I mean, that's why I don't do it as much as I used to, because it's kind of repetitive. It's very repetitive. But I still enjoy them for the most part. It's fun. I mean, even my Twitter profile, I think I make fun of the fact that I play with toy cars still. I mean, on my table right here, I have a Lightning McQueen sitting over there. I got Richard Petty, a couple others, got Hamlin over there. I still just like to have them all over the place. I just ordered like 7 or 8 new 2018 cars yesterday, so I got more of them coming, and it's fun. I don't know, it's fun.
Guys, I'll just say it like this: as you get older, guys will always want their toys. They just get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
My favorite video of yours, Eric, is the one where everyone's celebrating Junior's retirement, and Matt's just all salty about it.
Yeah, that was fun. That was more recent too.
I think I remember that's the one where Chase Elliott needs to be pulled off of the Denny Hamlin pinata or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've tried after I did the DoubleEdud Cup Series for several years, and that's what kind of helped my channel get big primarily. But once I started getting the reason I did NASCAR parodies and now Out of the Groove is honestly, it's just like me trying to branch out, and it was almost like it was also my personality trying to get more involved in my channel and in my videos.
Yeah.
The DoubleEdud Cup Series, I can't really. There's no me in that at all. It's really just content, and that's fine. That's fun. But I would get tired of that after a while. So I want to invoke my own sense of humor into the parodies, and then my own point of view into Out of the Groove, and that's why I'm glad that a lot of people still
Well, as a YouTuber, you need to be able to learn how to branch out a little bit and change it up some.
Yeah, and then also maintain mental stability.
I mean, okay, I'm throwing this out here. Probably tomorrow, when I get home, I might get on iRacing and stream that. So if anyone wants to watch it, I'll probably be doing that.
I have a question.
I might be. I got a job interview tomorrow. I should really sleep for that, but I don't want to.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Good luck.
I won't say where I'm going because I don't want people showing up to my work, and if I get the job and just screwing with me.
Yes.
Well,
great party.
Well, when we end the chat, if you want to say anything else, just let us know. If you got any questions, we can help you out a little bit.
I have a question here, guys, for controversy's sake. Who's your least favorite YouTuber?
Oh, it's got to be Logan Paul.
Vegan Games.
Jake Paul's better. Jake Paul's just pure, brother.
I can't stand Vegan Games. Dude's so he puts himself on such a pedestal, but then you see the stuff he does and you realize this dude he can defend his point, but he's an idiot still.
Oh yeah.
It's yes, my least favorite. Does it have to be just one?
No, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
Because me, even though he's the most subscribed channel on YouTube, I'm not a PewDiePie fan.
Yeah, I'm not a PewDiePie fan anymore. I say the Paul brothers, Fujitu, Bryce Gum. Maybe no, not Keemstar. Keemstar's all right.
I'm kind of mad at Grade A Underage just because he doesn't upload anymore, and he was doing
that's
some
a bummer.
videos. Yeah, it's The one I always show people is the phobias video because it's the one that got me. It's like he's like talking about, because I'm not an arachnologist, I think it's pretty rational for me to be afraid of spiders because I don't know which one will be just a harmless spider and which one will make my red leg rot off and then kill me.
I just don't watch that many YouTubers, especially ones I don't like. I mean, all the names you guys have mentioned, I've heard those a lot. As far as I've never seen a Logan Paul video. I've never seen a
Neither have
Paul
I.
video. I've never actually seen.
I'm glad to say
as far
that.
as I know, I don't think I've ever seen a PewDiePie video all the way through. I just don't. If the headline doesn't grab me and it's not a topic I'm interested in, I'm not going to watch.
And also, Tobuscus used to be really big, and that's bad now.
Didn't he have some sort of controversy?
Yeah.
I watched him, but he got like in trouble or something, didn't he?
Yeah. Okay.
I used to like watching Rhett and Link, the Good Mythical Morning duo.
Yeah.
Until they got big. And once they got really big with like 10, 12 million subscribers, it just their show became like super formulaic and almost like too high budget for me. I liked it when it's just the two of them chatting for 10 minutes with like one guy behind the camera. Now they got like 10 people and they have like celebrities on every other day. I can't watch it anymore.
The thing with YouTube, I'm a fan of people who want to spend a little bit to put some effort into their videos, but at the same time, I'm not watching TV. I don't want it to be too high quality. Like Dude Perfect, I feel like Dude Perfect and Epic Mealtime got way too high budget for me.
Yeah, they definitely got away from the roots. That's their biggest problem. It's like when I watch a Dude Perfect video nowadays, it's like if I wanted to watch some crappy Nickelodeon show, I would watch a crappy Nickelodeon show. Like
they do have a crappy Nickelodeon show.
That's what I was getting at.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
You want to know a channel who has been doing it right from day one because he's never changed the way he does his stuff is How To Basic. He has never once changed.
Nope, I love it. There's this dude on there too. It reminds me of this one. This guy literally every day just records himself drinking a full bottle of water. That's all he does, and he has like, well, let me see if I can find this guy because like that's all he does. He just drinks water.
Hey, I've said it before.
A channel that just kicks a wall for 10 minutes or so.
Before I actually decided to do DannyBTalks, I almost wanted to set up a channel where I literally just would say, title it, "Don't watch this," and then just look at the camera and say, "Why'd you watch it?"
I'm stealing that idea.
Yeah, that's a good one because every video you could be in a different location. Like now you're like on the side of a mountain. Why did you watch this? Be like underwater. Why did you watch this?
There's like videos how to drink a water bottle in 1 second, 11 million views.
Did they do it?
I'll watch
to find out.
Here, I'll watch it.
Yeah, please watch. Let me know.
It's 42 seconds long.
I did that 11 million.
I mean, I could always start that series where I just do "Don't watch this," but I don't know.
You say you don't like when videos get too big budget. What do you say about that for like animators?
God damn, he did it.
Oh, I love animation channels.
Sorry. He's just been quiet for like 10 seconds. Oh, he did it.
He did. He's like, okay, so. Okay, let's see another.
Okay.
Okay, I understand why this has 11 million views now. So like this one kid, he goes to drink it and he just like shoves the water all the way down his throat, right?
Oh my gosh!
But it just wait. And so there's another one. He tries the same thing and he does it and it just splashes all over his face.
Okay.
Can you see if we can screen share this? Because we won't get the sound, but we'll get the video.
I'm watching it right now. Hold on, I gotta see this.
Okay, to answer your question about animators though, they're a little bit different. I can give them a little bit more room to run with high budget because that's expensive to do no matter what it really is.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
Oh
yeah, I personally love the animation channel. Like
how to drink a water bottle in under 1 minute.
Okay, are we just all gonna have to watch this? Because I'm gonna have.
Yes, we're all watching this.
What's it called?
Danny, put it on, find it on yours, and then share screen.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
See, this is what reaction videos should actually be, not those idiots who are like, "Oh, damn, that looked like it was hard as hell."
I don't think that we will be able. Wait, no, you won't really need the sound for this, will you?
No, we don't need
Not
the sound.
really.
You
Okay.
can just honestly, just without the sound makes it funnier.
Okay, what is it? How to drink what? Okay. Is it okay?
It has 11 million views. How to drink a water bottle in 1 second.
Please screen share this or something.
Okay.
Oh, what have we become?
I was getting kind of sleepy. That just woke me up.
I think the next stream I'm gonna try this.
We should all try to drink a water bottle once.
Are you screen sharing?
Okay. All right. Yeah, lock it on your screen, man.
Okay, is it on there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it keeps switching.
saw
It keeps switching. So see if we can lock it on to this to
Or
just
does everyone
your
mute?
screen. Yeah, everyone just mute.
Okay, it should be locked on, but which one is it? What's the thumbnail?
It's the 42
second one.
second one. Yeah.
Okay, let's say this. Oh,
Wow.
we got a Honda commercial.
Or, yeah,
Honda to
everyone,
NASCAR confirmed.
Copyrighted video.
yeah, everyone mute your stuff if you can.
Yeah, mute.
Okay, let's say this. Okay, we got the water. Oh, that was like so incredible. That was so incredible. What does this guy do? Oh, this isn't gonna go good, is it? And I thought the first one.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And then he says close enough.
It's like that's how you win the internet right there.
I get an applause from me.
We should all just do it like on each day of the week. Have one of us just upload a video of us trying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I nominate Eric goes first.
Yeah, yes. All in favor of Eric going first, say aye.
We just said earlier we wouldn't do these. We said earlier we wouldn't do these crazy challenges like the condom challenge.
Okay, you're equating drinking.
Is he actually
water
gonna do
bottle
it?
Really
Is he
fast
actually gonna
with
do
snorting
it?
a condom. You're equating snorting a condom to drinking water really fast.
Okay, but the thing still applies. We said that we wasn't going to be doing these ridiculous challenges.
It's not ridiculous. We drink water every day. We're 75% water.
Yeah, but I don't just take the water bottle and.
I'll look at
Eric.
Look at.
Okay, yes. Let's remind people: drink water every day. It's good for you.
I don't know how did he?
So he put it against his mouth and then just went.
But how?
The bottle's now in his stomach. Let's just say that.
I'm just like feeling this bottle.
You got to have one of those cheap ones.
And I don't know how.
First time viewers are gonna be like, "What the hell are we in for?"
Yeah. See, Henry, I thought this was a NASCAR stream. It was once upon a time.
It was one time.
We went down the
Not
rabbit
anymore.
hole called the internet. You want to know the sad thing is that one day, if like when we're all older, we're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, so this is stuck on the internet forever."
Danny.
Yep. All right, here we go. Nah.
You know what? Let me see. We don't have
Missed
a
out.
water bottle, do we?
You know what, screw it, I can get you all beat.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back.
The problem is I'm gonna make a huge mess, and it's like
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't think about that part.
I've got all this equipment here. I'm not about to try and risk
my
it.
floor.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lay
good point.
I'll lay a blanket down. I don't want to ruin my nice carpet.
Maybe just go like right next to your door.
I haven't.
Do
Wait,
it.
hold on a second. Hold on. Let me try something. Let me see.
Now I could try chugging all this.
Can you imagine if we did a drunk stream like this? That would be like that'd be terrible.
I think we are bad enough as it is.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, he's getting the green screen out.
Oh no. I say okay.
The green screen.
Someone edit something on his green screen.
How does this only have 35 viewers? Because this should be really good.
Hold on, guys.
See this?
Oh my God! Hey, it's your invisibility. Oh, whoa, Dr. Pepper.
Don't use a green screen.
Key me out, and I'll be a floating head. My wife.
It's like people who wear camo.
Okay, this thing isn't very absorbent. This isn't like, yeah, I don't know. All right.
We'll keyframe your.
I think we need to
Your
mute
first-
ourselves again. We need to mute
everyone
ourselves
mute
again.
yourselves.
I've got it locked on Eric.
Okay, here we go. Here, I think we need we need to lick that like button, please, so I can
Yes.
drink this water in. I don't know if I can do 1 second. I think
Maybe
I'm gonna take that
maybe you should take your headphones out at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I should. All right.
It's like that
And
Futurama
then,
episode.
and then,
where it's
and then,
like-
just wrap that around your shoulders better.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Let's see how this. I don't know if it gets really messy. All right. We'll see how this goes. All right.
Here we go, guys. He's chugging water. No clickbait. Well, that didn't work.
This is for you, internet. I got about a third of it. Oh God! I got about 1/3 of it down the hat.
The bad
Is it
thing.
my turn to do this?
The bad thing.
Oh my God! See, imagine those first-time viewers are gonna be like, "Oh boy, someone finally doing a NASCAR stream. What the hell?"
Okay. Here's the reason that I put in the parentheses.
Give me Dr. Pepper, and I could down that thing in 4 seconds. I could down a 2-liter, 4 seconds. I swear to you.
There you go.
All right. I will go to HEB right now. It's probably closed, but it's kind of cold
Okay.
now.
Okay, here's the thing. I put in italics here. Well, not really italics, but I put open invite question mark, and that's exactly what this is. It's very open invite tonight.
Yeah, my green screen's wet now. My floor's not.
I'm going to have to go in and rename this after it's done to DoubleEdud attempts to chug water in a second. Epic fail.
Yeah, but
no,
fast
no,
forward to
Must
the.
No.
Make sure you
don't-
add some must-watch and gone wrongs in there.
No, it's like DannyBTalks attempts to keep it control of stream epically fails.
Gone
I
wrong.
have like 2/3 of this thing left.
DannyBTalks downfall of his channel.
Should I get a towel for this, or
Oh, you're
try to
actually
do
gonna
it like
what?
here?
Wait, you're
I think
actually
I'm
trying to
gonna
do
do
the thing? Oh God. Yeah, you probably should get a towel.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
back and give me a towel.
Here,
All
here at our live stream, we care about our fans.
So are we all chugging things tonight?
I don't have anything left. I could get a full bottle of water, but that won't end well.
I have a little bit of Monster and some water. I could try mixing them, and no, that would not go good.
Yeah, I don't have anything. We don't have water bottles, I think, here.
Okay, what's the chat doing? I have left them cold and dry
They're
here.
like, yay, internet. Get a towel, get a wife, get the iceberg, get a life.
And then
Of us
and then-
three, I'm like the least popular of us. Like not even just subscribers, just people are like, God, it's the tag of it's the
I got
tag
the
of
towel.
I think
Yeah.
it's okay.
and then
You're my favorite behind Rusty.
Thank you.
meanwhile, there's still a few people trying to keep this NASCAR related. So
I
Yeah.
appreciate them.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it NASCAR related. Who did this thing sponsor?
Alex Bowman.
Bowman. Oh, you beat me to it.
Used to.
Travis Quaffle.
also Greg Alding for a little bit.
Yeah. Iceberg chuck the fish.
Bankrupt Racing.
Yeah, I don't feel like hurting my fish.
All right, Irishman is suiting up here. I'm going to keep it on him.
I'm scared.
You should probably put down your headset because I don't want you to ruin that.
How much is in that 2-liter? How much is in there?
About a liter.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's gonna
take
be
the headset off.
interesting.
David Cunningham. You guys should eat drywall. Yeah, this is already wearing off.
Yeah, we're probably going that route.
We're gonna start a new challenge after ripping on everything.
All right, you guys ready? Give me the thumbs up.
Like this video.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god.
Are you okay?
Legendary. Legendary.
He's dying. Medic!
Give him CPR.
I spit all over my damn desk.
Hey, let's be honest, to keep it NASCAR related for a second, we're still doing better than Race Hub.
Yep.
I'm
I have
calling
Kansas
you
in my
out.
top 10. I'm already better.
I'm calling you out, Fox Sports.
Hey, at least we didn't put Dale Earnhardt at number 5.
Yeah. We got
Honestly,
him on stream right here.
If I were writing that top 5, the top 3 would be Earnhardt, Johnson, Petty. Like that makes the most sense.
Definitely.
For me, I actually put Pearson ahead of Petty because he beat Petty more times than Petty beat Pearson.
Yeah, I put Pearson.
Now I'm actually gonna drink this.
Yeah, I put Pearson over Petty.
I'm not sponsored.
Hey, Danny, you gonna do the shout out or the weekly shout out you do?
Quickly shout out.
Where you like shout out and say how I can't believe that NASCAR thinks that this would ever work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they're thinking that people are just going to get in there, just buying monsters all the time. I mean, they're ridiculous. I mean, it's
Speaking of that,
freaking stupid.
AB68, here's your shout out. Hi.
Hello,
Oh, man.
Bizzell.
Hello.
See, we pretend to be professional.
Okay,
I can breathe now, guys.
I've had enough Monster Energy. Now let's have some healthier stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Screw the healthy stuff. Where'd the bottle cap go?
Hey, AB68 loves me too. Thank you.
Aww.
This is the cap of an already great day. Okay. So we're watching Danny drink water. Cool. It's not as cool as when you're almost choking on it.
Chug.
Damn it.
What was the first NASCAR race you ever watched? Answer, it's the 2005 Daytona 500. I made a whole video on it, but that was an incredible race.
I don't remember mine, but I know Dale Jr. won, and I think it was in 2004.
That's more often than not. If it was a race that Junior won back in the day, it was probably 04.
I just remember thinking, because I was really young, after he won, I assumed for a few weeks that Dale Jr. was the best driver in NASCAR. And at first, he might have been for a time there. But I was like, for a few weeks, I thought he was like God. And then I watched more races, and I realized, oh, no, he's just good, I found out who Jimmy Johnson was, and I was like, oh.
Favorite NBA team?
Damn it.
Let's see. Favorite
The first race I watched was the 2003 Daytona 500.
That was a good race. Really underrated.
A good half race, I meant.
Yeah. Well, it's still. I mean, I rewatched that recently, and it's like I was surprised just how good racing was the whole time.
Well, I just realized that it's gonna see me chugging this bottle.
You're gonna be in your interview. You're gonna be in the interview, and they're gonna be like, "So, we saw this."
Can you explain yourself?
Okay, careful! Don't make them spill that.
Favorite MLB team: Chicago Cubs,
Houston Astros,
Atlanta Braves.
I like you guys. You guys got good teams.
I was a Mariners fan back in the 90s.
I wasn't a thing in the 90s.
I showed up at I showed up right before the after party.
I was the after party.
Result.
The carryover. Let's see. Favorite NFL team. I went over this earlier. Vikings. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. Let's see.
I think there's a helicopter outside my window right now. It's kind of sketchy. I guess I live close to downtown.
There's an Oakland A's fan. They're the ones that have like the John Deere colors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then Smolinski. I don't know if he's still on the team, but
why couldn't you say green and yellow? Why'd you say John Deere colors?
Because they look like they were like John Deere spokesmen. So
I guess.
So yeah, Smolinski on that. If he's still on the team, he went to the high school that I went to. Yeah, Cardinals and Packers.
Me and Dr. Pepper have some interesting history. Dr. Pepper shot out of my nose before, and now I almost choked on it.
Well, congratulations, Irishman. You now have something to do on your channel. Chug Dr. Pepper.
That's gonna be him changing each background. He's like, I'm at the Shed Aquarium, and get out of here.
Just run streaking through a football game, chugging Dr. Pepper.
Just show up to a funeral, chug Dr. Pepper. Least favorite race, God. How many have been so horrible?
This Vegas race for me.
Anytime they run at Vegas, man.
Indianapolis.
I think.
I get a nap. Yeah, worst race. Well, I get a nap with Indianapolis, so I can't be too angry about that.
I get a nap with Las Vegas.
Other than 2014, Pocono is usually as fast for me.
2012 Auto Club 400.
The second race at Richmond in 2014, other than the fence climber. Like, if you just look at straight up racing, awful. Oh, here's one. Have y'all heard about Kamikaze Games versus Ty Dillon? Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't actually. I've heard that it happened, but what actually started it? Who started it? Was it Ty's fault?
It had to be
Kamikaze.
Yeah.
Kamikaze started it.
What did he do?
Again, we've said this before, but we really need to get Kamikaze on this stream sometime.
Yeah, we do. I feel like when it comes to appropriateness, me and him would be sort of in the same corner.
Get him, Real Radman, What If?
I really think that Kamikaze is mostly part of his character work, honestly.
Well, it works, though. I mean, you look at how.
But what did he do? Why did he piss off Ty Dillon?
He made a review of the 2018 Daytona 500.
And what did he say about?
He screamed "fuck Austin Dillon" pretty much the entire time.
Oh God! Oh God!
I don't blame him on that part.
I mean, I'm not
the biggest Austin Dillon fan, honestly.
I'm not a fan, but Lord.
And from what I'm hearing, Ty Dillon is spreading lies about Kamikaze.
Oh my God! It's a high school. It's a high school drama with a professional athlete.
Is Ty Dillon a YouTuber now, or is he still a?
He's doing vlogs.
The thing with Ty Dillon and his vlogs is that yes, he films them, but he's not like he doesn't have time to edit them. Somebody else edits it all for him.
Yeah.
I remember in the off season when he posted a position for somebody to film and edit him, so I figured that's what that was. I saw that somewhere and I thought, man, that'd be kind of cool, but I'm like, I don't live in Charlotte, and I don't. You don't want
to hang out with Ty Dillon 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it kind of fits that Kamikaze would say that about Austin Dillon. You have any of you guys seen the header on his channel with Kurt Busch? The quote. Yeah. That quote is perfect. I'm sorry. Let's see. One of them puts, I hate Kamikaze because he hates Dale Jr. for dumb reason. Yeah, that sort of annoyed me. I've watched it. Like, his video game reviews are really well done. Like I'm not too crazy about the Rage ones, but like the older ones and stuff that he goes over, it's like, man, this is really good. You got a lot of talent here. And then I like go to another one and he's complaining because Truex finished second. It's like, dude, you won 8 races last year, man. Like, hold your boat,
I got an interesting question for y'all here.
Okay.
Name a driver that you'd love to spend a day in the gym trying to beat.
Beat like in a competition, sort of.
Logano is the only one I could beat.
Well, I would like to beat Denny Hamlin at something because I feel like he's very smug.
Oh, I'd love to beat Kevin Harvick or Kyle Busch, but I don't think. At least at like lifting weights, probably not. I'm weak. Get
What
hit
about
up.
Jimmy Johnson or Mark Martin?
Denny Hamlin has a basketball court. I'd love to go play one-on-one against Denny Hamlin and dunk on Denny Hamlin. That'd be fun.
It's hard for me to rip on like Kyle Busch outside of the car because when I've met him, he's been really kind and respectful to me.
Yeah,
like
that's
it's,
fair.
so that's the thing. I told my dad, and I told him this like way before I got on YouTube. It's like it's hard to hate on these guys when they actually act really nice to you. It's like for a while, like I'd rip on Biffle, right? And then literally every year I was at Chicagoland trying to get autographs. Biffle was like the only one from 2007 to 2011 that signed every year for me. I was like, I can't rip on him anymore. Same with Montoya and Edwards. Edwards is the coolest dude in person.
I try to keep all my dislike on the racetrack because off the racetrack, really, very rarely are these guys like really just like unlikable. They're always
Unless you're
Danica.
Danica, yeah.
I would definitely. I was say that's why I said most. I didn't say all of them.
Yeah, like I saw her. Oh, she was on Joe Rogan a few months ago, and like all these people I follow her in the comments, like some black guy and Blair White. And they're like, oh, she seems so cool, and I responded, I'm like, listen, I've been subscribed to you for so long, like, no. She's not. She seems cool. It's a little snapshot of what you've seen. It's like she's not. She's like everything that you talk against.
I think if she had been good, if she'd won some races and been decent, I don't think she would. Because I think it's just like it's the pressure of never living up to the hype. I think kind of got to her the last couple of years, and that's kind of what I don't know. That's what ruined her. I feel like.
Urinating.
It would have been
if
she just got top fives. I would have been satisfied with her career.
Yeah.
But I mean, Urinating Tree made a perfect video about her, and it's kind of funny because like every few minutes or every few like a half minute to a minute, you just see like the blue like crash screen for your computer. It's like, God damn it, girl, stop crashing. Because it's pretty good, but it's like he basically like says everything about her. It's like she didn't earn her spot in NASCAR. She was here because she was a pretty face, and I don't like saying that, but. And in hindsight, even the biggest Danica supporter has to say that.
You know what's bad is I talked to some people who were Packers fans one time, and they said that even though they didn't really watch NASCAR or anything, they're really embarrassed that their quarterback is just getting known as being Danica's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
Cole Stafford asked what our favorite NASCAR movie is.
There's
Days of Thunder.
Man,
yeah, probably Days of Thunder for me too.
I'm kind of like Dale Jr. I'm a big fan of Stroker Race.
Cars, the first one.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Herbie?
As a kid. Yeah, not bad. Even the Lindsay Lohan one, not terrible.
See, and maybe it's just because I'm like too sensitive or whatever, but I just didn't like Talladega Nights, and it wasn't even because it was ripping on NASCAR. It's just I didn't find it that funny.
I've been thinking about doing a video in the future, everything wrong from a NASCAR fan's point of view with Talladega Nights.
I just don't like Will Ferrell.
Did you see the South Park episode about NASCAR?
Oh, I've seen some of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Isn't Cartman a driver?
Yeah. I'm too rich and smart to drive in NASCAR.
Yeah, I never really cared for that, but now I did like the Cleveland show when they did NASCAR. They actually had Dale Jr. appear in that.
Yeah. I think Tony Stewart too.
Yeah, and then I like Casey Kane too. Wow, if I just drive safe and respectfully, I'll win the race, and all his wheels fall off. Like, yeah, that's Casey Kane's luck. It's like I think Junior and Stewart were like racing each other to get like one of them home first.
Yeah. Well, guys, we are approaching 3 hours, so I think it's time to go ahead and start. It's time to go ahead and start wrapping things up.
Yeah.
This is the longest we've ever done this. Congratulations. We've had everything from some solid NASCAR discussion to ugly T-shirts to chugging Dr. Pepper and water.
Yeah.
I say we end this out by letting our 3 guests give their thing. Then they'll head out, and then the 3 hosts will do our thing for the last minute. Yeah. Where can we find you? And I'll say it at once.
I'll jump in here. Well, first, I want to thank you guys for giving just the fans an opportunity to join me on this because you guys do a great thing by having the engagement around the sport each week. So I love that, and thanks again. And Danny knows Danny's a supporter of mine. I love you, Danny. I love your content. I love your production. I love the humor and what you're doing. So you guys,
I love you too.
Danny, but shout out to Danny. I love what you do. And I have my own channel that just started like 3 months ago. And the main reason I started it was to develop as a person, to kind of work on my confidence and camera presence for work and just outside of YouTube. So you've seen me kind of try some things. It's got reviews, reactions, and kind of just some shenanigans I'm going to throw in every once in a while. I'm dabbling in live streaming, not quite with the podcast deal, but it's just mostly to build my confidence in real life, and that's why I'm here. And one last plug is the only two people in my life that watch NASCAR are my dad and my buddy, or at least they used to watch NASCAR, and they stopped about 10 years ago. And every week I'm watching, and I have nobody to talk to. And the reason I'm on here every week is because you guys are engaging with me, and you're the only ones I basically have to talk NASCAR with. And nobody at school ever watched it with me. Just so your support and everything really, really means a lot to me. So thanks again for having me on.
Thank you for being on, man.
Thanks for
Good having you.
Love it, man.
All right, you want to go next? Whatever I forgot your name was is.
Rock, paper, scissors over it?
The Racers TV, you can go ahead.
All right, I'm the Racers TV. I have a YouTube channel, of course, by the name of the Racers TV. I make racing content, sometimes a little different stuff. I have a lot of a whole plethora of videos, especially older ones, that I like to look back on and laugh at. But yeah, hopefully planning on doing some neat, interesting stuff in the future related to NASCAR. Diecast reviews coming soon, hopefully, and hopefully hoping in the future to start a podcast similar to this. So yeah, I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So yeah, a lot of good stuff.
And sorry not to interrupt you there, but that's a great idea for anyone in the chat who didn't get a chance to come on. We typically do this on Wednesdays. Every now and again, there might be a day where we got to do it on Thursday. If y'all are liking this, by all means, maybe do it on another day. Keep this going where where there's always something for people to watch a discussion about NASCAR. This seems to be a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, we're willing to jump on other people's channels on different shows and stuff, and
as long as we got time, of course. But
yeah, time allowing.
I just want to thank y'all for having me on here. Pretty fun time. Almost choking. And yeah, my channel, Irishman GFS. I've had it for 4 years now. So, and I've really deleted some old videos long ago. And I'm gonna steal a bit what Rusty Walrus said, about the only people that watch NASCAR with me are, because my dad originally stopped in the early 2010s. He recently got back into it, but he works nights at work, so he can't really watch much. So I usually watch with my grandmother, actually. And yeah, I always you ever just feel like, you don't want to watch a race on your own because sometimes you can just take a nap and not miss a thing. When there's someone there to talk with you, you can make it entertaining by just talking about your favorite driver to them, everything like that. And you can find me. I'll probably do something, put a comment when the video's done or whatever. And I got a Twitter, but I don't want to put that down there. Yeah, just thank you all. And looking at the three hosts here, I found all three of them entirely different ways. I found Iceberg through the it's either the "What If the Chase Never Existed" video, Eric with the Christmas special video, and DannyBTalks with his think of the 10 reasons millennials will watch NASCAR. And I want to say thank you to you three for allowing us on here. And it's bedtime.
Well, it's good to have you on, man.
Yeah,
All right.
Have you on.
Good luck with that interview.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
with
good
that.
luck with the interview.
I just want to say one more thing before we cut off. I want to say it's been an honor and a pleasure to be on here with you guys. You guys rock, and I appreciate the opportunity to be on here.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, well, thank you guys for the support too. Like, without this, without you guys having support, we're just three guys sitting on a live chat.
And there is something for y'all to say before bed.
All the kids.
I'm watching you all.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, Irishman, the Racist TV, Rusty, it's been fun having y'all. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all out of here. I'm going to go ahead and get, not trying to be mean, I'm going to kick y'all out, and then we'll go ahead and be wrapping things up here.
Yeah, it's late. Get out of here.
Right.
Thanks again, guys.
Nice talking to you.
No problem.
Yeah. Bye.
Nice talking to you guys.
Bye.
Too.
See you guys.
All right.
All right. So again, we're still live here, by the way. So this has been very interesting live stream, to say the least. Don't know that we're necessarily going to do the open invite too much more in the future, but it was fun for what it was. It got a little too crazy there at first, but I think in the end we had 3 extra guys to develop a very interesting conversation here tonight. So it's been a lot of fun, to say the least. I went from wearing a plaid shirt to a Danica Patrick shirt.
Being dry to being slightly moist.
Yes. I acted like I normally do.
And we had a few not PG moments, probably. That's all right. And other than that, it's been fun. For any of y'all that are still watching, I'm probably going to go live tomorrow doing some iRacing. So if y'all ain't doing nothing, maybe come watch me. Probably be about 8-ish maybe. So I might do it about then. So other than that, that's it from me. So I'll go ahead and let these two say a little bit. And and by the way, next week I think we'll be back on the Iceberg's channel next week. So we'll see y'all then, and I'll put out a video probably then saying just as a reminder so everyone knows where to go.
Sweet deal. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll be I'll have another Out of the Groove up tomorrow. I've had a bunch of episodes this week. You can check those out if you haven't already. You can follow me on my Twitter at Dex Racing, DECS Racing. Talk about a bunch of goofy stuff on there. If you haven't seen it, I posted my photo of me at age 12 dressed as Matt Kenseth for a school project. Yeah, that was a interesting time in my life. But thanks, guys, for having me on again. I'm glad we keep doing this. This has been fun. Thanks everyone for watching and being and interacting in the chat. And thanks to our we had like 7 or 8 guests for a brief time. But thanks to the guys who stuck around and chatted about it. It's always fun to talk NASCAR with people in person, not in person, but face to face at least. It's always a good time. So excited for next week.
Yeah, and like we were saying, be it on my channel. I want to thank everyone for watching and for the 3 guests for being on. We're sorry it was kind of a little bit of a mess there. This is our first time doing that stuff. So if we do a fan stream again, it'll probably be more organized beforehand. We didn't know what we were getting into. Didn't realize we were this popular. But yeah, it's fun. Thank you for everyone in the chat for licking the like button, for putting up with me and all of us on here. I don't know if I'll have a video up by the end of this week. I might put one up about the half marathon stuff and just do like a few weeks or whatever. Also, I do have a video I'm working on, and then I have something kind of special. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it or if it even will get put together yet, but I do have something special coming up that a lot of you might like. But you can find me on my channel, The Iceberg. It's in the description. Also, I'm on Twitter at IceTitan80, and I'm also on gab.ai, and that'll be at Iceberg. That is strictly for live stream and YouTube stuff alone. I don't post anything else other than that on there. So if you just want to, follow me on something that's just that, there you go. And my profile picture will be just me and Kyle Larson, where we were in the profile picture of mine is that. So it's been fun this week and can't wait till next.
Yep, it has sure been fun. So, again, we'll be on Iceberg's channel next week. I appreciate everyone who's been here watching. And other than that, I'll see you all in the future. And I'm sure these guys will too. Do y'all have anything else to say?
Nope. Thanks for watching, everybody.
All right. Well, same as we started here, I'm going to go ahead and put y'all out here with some good music. And we'll see you in the future.